Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
The following is a world-class Bullshitters exclusive.
Welcome to World Class Bullshitters, the epitome of pop culture. I'm your host, Jeff Hicks, and with me tonight is the one, the only, Dion Green.
Baby, boys and girls, children of all ages, we are back, we are at it, and we are still black as night. Darknesses, and also, hey, if you thought you were having a bad week, don't worry. At least you're not high, because turns out he was right. Only didn't take 5 years.
Oh, God damn. Well, I guess we know where we're going to be going with that topic in just a moment. But folks, before we do, let's introduce the rest of the crew. Say hello to Big Rig Nick Utown.
I just got my order of lo mein. I'm ready to go.
I forgot to text you guys, but seriously, last Friday, I got lo mein for lunch. I got lo mein, an egg roll, and a spring roll. And I was going to make a little video of it, but I was so hungry, I ate it all. And just,
you ate it all like right there?
I honestly did. I started eating in the car. I was like, fuck this, man. Now, folks, you may see a fourth person here tonight. We have a special guest host here on WCBs. Say hello to our good friend from all the way from the Place to Be Reviews. You know him. You love him. E. Tepukoyan.
It is he, it is me, P-double-D, Tepukoyan from the Place to Be Reviews, right here with all of yous. Some say I hail from Our Lady of the Courageous Caucasians, but no, that's okay, not from the Caucasus Mountains. I am straight out of the Murder Mitten, and thank you for having me this evening. It's great to be here with these esteemed gentlemen who I know and love.
Well, the feeling's mutual, my friend. Now, you were there at Horror Hound. This is
Yes,
the
sir.
Horror Hound crew, technically. We were all there. We all had the fun. Kendo had some family obligations that he had to attend to, like we always say here on the channel. Family comes first. But, Pete, we hung out. We had a wonderful time. What was the highlight of the con for you?
Honestly, the highlight of the con for me was those creepy nuns. No, it was just getting to hang out with everybody. It was a blast. The con atmosphere has been, that's the second Horror Hound I've attended this year, and I'll be in Cincinnati in March again. So it was honestly,
yeah.
it was probably St. Elmo's.
Yes.
That was. I felt like Ray Liotta in Goodfellas. I mean, we all walked in suits. People were looking at us. My wife was the only female there. I was like, is she like, Esmeralda Blanca or something? It was fun. That was a blast. The food was delicious, and the company was even better.
It was a wonderful meal. You talk about planning something out in your head and hoping it turns out right. Well, everything at Horror Hound this year did, folks. I mean, from the delicious meal to the fans that came to hang out. I mean, we had people show up in a RoboCoke Lines of Justice shirt. So it was a very nice return to the public world. We haven't been to Horror Hound Indianapolis since the last time they hosted one, and that was 4 years ago. Since you mentioned, here we are all in our suits. That was a hell of a night. So that's St. Elmo's. It's the classiest joint in Indianapolis, which is a pretty solid city. And there's World Class Bullshitters, minus Kendo. Sorry, Kendo. We had to do all the fun stuff without you, buddy.
No. But yeah, we did miss the hell out of him, though. It was, every time we did something fun, we're like, Kendo would love this. Why isn't he here?
Well, Kendo, good luck tonight. Give him hell. Now, folks, we're going to start the show like we always do, saying hail to everyone in the chat. Hello, thank you for joining us to episode 371 of World Class Bullshitters, the epitome of pop culture. Tonight we're going to be covering a multitude of topics, but I want to start out by making an announcement. This week has started the WCBS Fantasy Football Draft. Now, folks, we had a draft on Tuesday night. we recorded a supplemental piece of content, an episode, a bonus one, if you would even like to call it that. That'll be up on Patreon tomorrow, so you can get ready to hear the WCBS crew, gang, coterie, whatever you want to call us as a group. But if you want to listen to us talk about our football drafts, Kendo gave us the rundown of who statistically has the best chance of winning and a whole lot more. You know, they say that all drafts are created equal, but you look at ours and you look at everyone else's and you know that's just not true, okay? World Class Bullshit is the place to be, I guess, this football season, not hockey season, not soccer season, WrestleMania season on the side. But folks, go over to patreon.com and check that out tonight. Also coming to Patreon, another bonus episode. We kind of like you guys. We love you guys, actually, so we always want to give you more for giving us the support to be able to do this. So, another bonus episode, probably another, 90 minutes, Nick? We recorded for quite a while last night.
Oh no, it was about 90 minutes because I think the first little bit was us talking about the draft, and then we went on for a long time, so it was good.
Yeah, it was a wonderful excuse to get away. But folks, that'll be over on patreon.com. And then also, License to Kill's coming, and we have 2 tiers for that. If you're at the $5 tier where you get access to all the audio stuff, you'll get to listen to that commentary. But if you're at the video tier, which is $10, you'll be able to watch along with us at home. So, if you want to do that, you know what to do. And I'm a James Bond expert, or so I've been called by a lot of people. But, check that out. Also, too, folks. Yes.
Oh, I was going to say, also, I know somebody asked last week about top 10 songs, things like that. I just got done literally the second putting them up on our links in our bio. They are Spotify links there for all of our playlists for me, Jeff, Dion, and Kendo on there. So you have our distinct playlists, top 10, our top 10 songs, that we can think of in those playlists. So yeah, enjoy that.
You know what? I'm going to pull that up real quick because I want to see what our list is.
Well, no, that's they're all individual. Unless you want to do a collective WCBS list, we can do that too.
I think you should do that as well. We should have Kendo, we'll rank those songs and come up with an aggregate of what our list would be. Because I know we did the one last week where we each picked a couple songs, but that was kind of on the fly.
Yeah,
Nick?
that was a very complicated question we got at the end of the show. I mean, thank you for the question, but that requires a lot more thoughts.
And see, we pull through for you guys. So that is on Spotify right now. I will pull up that link in a minute. I don't want to hijack the show. Nick, send me a link to the link tree so I can check it out quicker. But I'm excited to check out that list myself. I saw Dion's list, Dion, and it was respectable, man. Your song by Tom Jones, I was blown away that made your top 10.
Fuck yeah, man, I love that song.
So do I. Thunderball's wonderful. It's a good movie. It's got the best looking Bond women, hands down.
Into killer mode, dude. If it's work related, you got your playlists. Certain people take playlists a different way. For me, when I think of top 10, I think of I'm going into killer mode. I'm either about to spar or I gotta look cool in front of some motherfuckers at work. I gotta impress my girl. That's the shit. And you turn on Thunderball, bitch. I'm ready to fucking go. Let's go. Tommy, let's go. Thunder, I might turn that shit on right now. I'm getting Jack already.
I just love that Tom Jones passes out at the end of the song.
That makes me laugh every time now whenever I hear
See, folks, if you don't understand, Shirley Bassey sang the previous James Bond song, Goldfinger, where she held an incredibly long note. We've all heard the song. We know how it goes. But Tom Jones did not want to be upstaged by Dame Shirley Bassey. So Tom Jones held out the final note of Thunderball until he passed out. So if you listen closely at the end of the song, like Dion displayed a moment ago, he goes, ah, and just kind of no, they didn't fade that out. That dude sang his heart out till he passed out. So let's check out, okay, we're already on the screen. Let me click on one of these. I'll do mine later. Let's see what Coach Kendo's is. So, yes, we'll open Spotify. We're not going to play anything on air. But Coach Kendo's top 10 list. Great. Is this, let's see. I'm getting all these pop-ups now for Spotify. There we are. Couch Kendo. Nick, you might want to fix that.
Oh, God damn it.
I noticed that. I wasn't going to say anything, but I'm like, you're not supposed to say couch.
Oh God! Here's what. Yeah. When I do it really quickly like that, I just go and I don't think about it. So yeah, let me go. change that right now.
I'm just
This fucking
I'm
second.
glad this is a historic WCBS moment. Episode 371, Couch Kendo. It's like, how many ways can we disrespect him? The fact that he's not here tonight.
Always be now known as Couch Kendo.
Couch Kendo. He's gonna be like, how the fuck did I get that name? I wasn't even here. I'm like, Couch Kendo. That's how we get the best fucking nicknames.
He's
when
just
we're
going
not
to tell
around.
you that's Dr. Couch Kendo to you.
One day he'll be there. And when that day comes, I'll still call him Mister.
Just to piss him off.
It's like, hey, Mr. Kendo. It's Dr. Kendo. No. Unless you're, fixing my bum knee. I don't give a shit. Anyway, Kendo's list. We have Iron Maiden, Power Slave, the 1998 remaster. Danger Zone from Top Gun by Kenny Loggins. Immigrant Song by Led Zeppelin. That's a great song. Midnight Rider by the Allman Brothers Band. Hangar 18 by Megadeth. The Four Horsemen by Metallica. Angel of Death by Slayer. Cigarettes and Alcohol by Oasis. Regulate by Warren G and Nate Dogg. And finally, To Be My Enemy, The Departure.
Yep.
Any opinions on Couch Kendo's list?
That's a great
I've
list.
karaoke'd Midnight Rider about 100 times. I love that song.
I've never heard it.
Oh, really? It's a great song.
I'll play it for myself later. I may know it and just not know the song title.
You've probably heard it. I'll guarantee you've heard that at one time or another on a classic rock station. It's a great song.
It breaks my heart what's considered classic rock these days, because it's like, to me, like everybody, like, oh yeah, man, classic rock is like Led Zeppelin or The Doors. It's like, yeah, man, classic rock is like Green Day and Smash Mouth and Nirvana. I'm like, oh man, whoa,
You
what?
don't have to say it. You have to say it.
They're talking about music that was on when I was in middle school. That's not fair. I don't want to.
Yeah, it's like, I remember when these songs were brand new. Like, one day, Maroon 5 will be classic rock. And they kind of suck.
Stop.
Yeah,
Can you see
I
that?
mean, if you're saying by definition, Songs About Jane is a great album. Other than that, I wouldn't say classic.
You are the
Coming
only
up
black
next.
dude that can name a album like that off the top of your head, man. Maroon 5.
I'm world class, and I'm on a pop culture podcast. If there's one thing you can guess this black dude does, that's got to be on the fucking list.
Next, you're going to tell me you like the Jonas Brothers.
I don't say that I like the Jonas Brothers, but I will say, as my family loves to laugh about, I fucks with me some Harry Styles.
Oh, okay. Well, let's check out your playlist, Mr. Harry Styles, to see how much Harry Styles
Mr. Harry
is
Styles,
on
he's
this list.
Mr. Harry Green. Don't ever forget that shit.
Oh, ugh. All right. Well, the man with the plan, Dion Green. There we are. That's some old artwork by me. It looks cool, though. Oh, Dion, again, your list is great. We have Is Cookin', the Rocks theme by Jim Johnston. They Don't Give a Fuck About Us by Tupac and Outlaws. Tell 'Em I Said That by T.I. Duel of the Fates by John Williams and the London Symphony Orchestra. Trap Star by Jeezy. Put On by Jeezy. Side note, that was Dion's entrance theme in the old wrestling games when you could put your own custom music. I cannot not hear that song and think of Dion in college just going like, yeah, this is it.
Bro, I thought you forgot about that. Holy shit, we're bonding. He's my best friend.
Well, that bond will never die. I mean, come on, man.
Oh, fuck. I didn't even think you remembered
SVR Bros for life.
that. Bros for life, bro.
Also, we have Thunderball by Tom Jones, and Then That by Jeezy and Manny Fresh. Shortchange Hero by The Heavy, and People Get Up and Drive Your Funky Soul by James Brown, Fred Wesleys, and the JBs. All in all, a solid list by the one, the only Dion Green. Now,
Dig it.
let's see. Nick, let's check yours out. Ooh, Nick has got a new name here on the show. We'll have to turn this into a t-shirt for you in a comic book.
Yeah, I tried
The
giving
Bombay
everybody
Bad Boy.
I tried giving everybody fucking nicknames. Yeah.
Bombay.
Oh,
Bad
I'm seeing-
Boy. I am only calling you that now from
Yeah. Folks, if you refer to Nick as anything but Bombay Bad Boy, hold on. We should try to do this. For the rest of the show, Dion and Pete, we should all try to call Nick the Bombay Bad Boy. Every time
It's
we
gonna
fuck
be
up.
every time you refer to me, it's gonna take you a second and a half longer to talk to me.
But here's the thing: after we mess up and call you Nick, we should each take a point down for every time we do that. Then on our next drunk stream, we have to start off by taking shots
dear
before
God.
the show.
Oh dear God.
So that number. Okay, I'll take that silence as a no. We won't do that. But folks, when the drunk commentaries come back, we're gonna be hitting it hard. Okay, back in the Midwest, we got some good alcohol here. So speaking of good, Nick's list is very good. It starts out with Thriller by Michael Jackson, Everybody Wants to Rule the World by Tears for Fears, Fatlit by Sum 41, All I Do Is Win by T-Pain and DJ Khaled. That's a good song too. My Curse by Killswitch Engage, September by Earth, Wind and Fire, Out of Touch by Hall & Oates, Area Codes by Ludacris and Nate Dogg. I had that album as a kid. Back in Time, Huey Lewis and the News, and Fly Me to the Moon by Frank Sinatra. What a classy way to close out
Yeah,
your list, Nick.
I was all over the fucking place.
Well, you know what?
On the mood of time, man. I get it.
Yeah, it's my ADD playlist.
And it's a great playlist, though.
That's a great one. That's a great. I fucking love Fly Me to the Moon. I remember, especially when him and I first started dating, she was going through a hardcore Frank Sinatra phase, and I think I got her because that's like 2009. There was anniversary of some album, and I bought it for her, and we listened to that bitch back to back like 10 times.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but it seems like everybody I know around our age range has gone through that. It's very strange, but it's still good though. It's good. It's good.
Well, my theory is, our specific generation, movies, and obviously that, performers who were, back then we called them triple threats or whatever. You can act, you can sing, and you can dance. And, not that Frank Sinatra was the best dancer in the world, but so much of that music is associated with that old showbiz mindset. And we grew, we were coming out of that. So, I fucking, and even on my workout, That's Life is on my fucking workout.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a real good one.
Yeah,
Yep.
man. Blue Eyes is, listen, dude, I will never get mad at someone for putting old Blue Eyes on their fucking top 10 playlist ever.
Fair enough.
Well said. I'm sorry, I was sharing out the link of the show. Give me a quick second. But apparently I'm El Jefe, so Nick, I'm cool with that name. All right, so let's just post this. We're live.
That's right. And just for people who don't know, one of the reasons it became iconic is because on a drunk stream, Jeff didn't make it to Rush Hour 3, and it was just Nick Kendo and I trying to get his attention because the movie ended. And then eventually he put it in one of the previews for the channel where it's just kind of going, El Jefe! Jefe!
Oh, yeah, I can have fun with that.
On YouTube, period.
My favorite part is in the end of that trailer, I have the snoring. And then Nick goes, "Where'd everybody go?"
Oh yeah,
that's my favorite moment.
Because I fucking woke up and like at my desk, I was like, "What the fuck's going on?" I didn't realize I fell asleep. I was so drunk.
Yeah, well,
and listen, that's what I want, especially once we, when we get a couple million followers and everything, and we got a whole bunch of channel shit, meeting fans, whatever, and we do a live stream with a camera. We just gotta remember to not pull the Paul Pierce, because he recently did that shit when he did some NBA live stream. And he was drinking. He bought like his side piece, and he was talking wild. And Kevin Garnett's like, "Hey, yo, man, we're live." And you have that moment where he remembers that he's live. I mean, as long as we don't go there, we'll be okay.
I think we'll be fine.
So, let's read my list. So on my list is Everybody Wants to Rule the World. Great crossover song, Nick. True Faith by New Order. Super Freak by Rick James, Save Me by Shinedown, Save Tonight by Eagle Eye Cherry, Axel F by Harold Faltermeyer, Police Truck by Dead Kennedys, Beat It by Michael Jackson, Wood, Alice in Chains, and Down Under by Men at Work. So Nick, like you, my playlist is full of 80s and ADD.
Yeah,
so,
I was about to say, I was like, we both have, with Michael Jackson, we both have Tears for Fears. That's just a good song. That's just a really good song.
It is. I've had more fun listening to that song drinking, or actually just any time, sober, drunk, it doesn't matter. Everybody Wants to Rule the World is a good time.
Yep.
That Tears for Fears is one of my favorite bands growing up in the 80s. Yeah. And especially being a fan of Dennis Miller, and that was his kind of entrance theme for his HBO show in the 90s. Yeah, Tears for Fears is just ingrained in my DNA, and that is it's a fantastic song overall.
Yeah, I don't want to risk a copy strike to play it right now, but I would love to.
I know.
Just can open it up in another tab and let's do it myself while we're on air, but that would not be professional. Oh, so let's keep going. So that was our playlist, folks. Join us over on our Spotify links. There we go. Just look up World Class Bullshitters on Spotify. Look for Jeff Hicks, Dion Green, Nick Utam, and Couch Kendo coming soon. To a
That's
playlist
changed
review.
now. It got changed immediately. It's fine.
Hold on. I got to take a screenshot of this before I refresh the page because I want to remember this moment forever.
Okay, all right.
This moment in time is beautiful. You know what? I'm actually going to record a video of me rolling it over. So let's see. Get the phone ready. Record. Yeah, I'll just tweet this out in a minute. And Couch Kendo became Coach Kendo. What a disappointment. Woe is me. Oh, man. So, folks, we're just trying a few new things out here on the channel. We thought we'd give you a little more about us. And there's our musical tastes. Tweet at us at WorldClassBS and tell us if we have any crossover. I think that would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe for our channel playlist, we can do 20 songs instead of 10. Just kind of give it, because once again, there's 4 of us. It'd make a little bit more sense if there were 20 songs instead of just 10. I think 10 is too little.
I agree. Now, guys, last week we played our box office game, and I'm looking for the numbers right here because I would like to see who won last week. Our film was Equalizer 3, starring Denzel Washington. Dion, have you had a chance to go out and see it?
No, we did not go and see it yet. That's the plan for this weekend with the wifey, though. So we will have a review ready for you guys.
Well, I am looking for those numbers. I don't think I can find them right here this second on air. But I'll tweet out who the winner is to keep that up. But this week, do we have a big release this week?
I don't think so.
No, I don't think we do, because Hillary thought we had one, and we looked at it before. I don't think we have. I don't think we have a big release this week.
All right, because I don't want to, take off the this section of the show or anything, but since we don't have a new movie to do this week, I mean, what can we bet on?
I don't know. Let's see. There's
Oh shit! The Nun 2 comes out this week.
Okay, yeah, the Nun 2.
Big Fat Greek Wedding, and then My Animal. So I don't know what the fuck that is.
Yeah, there's also Dumb Money and what is it? Saw 10.
Wait, Saw 10?
Saw 10. Yeah, Saw 10.
All right, let's do a twofer. So what was the first movie you said is opening this weekend? Sorry. Short-term memory.
Nun 2.
Nun 2. Okay, so this is a double horror weekend. We're not even in Schlocktoberfest, folks.
No,
yes, it's coming back. Get ready. Now, Saw 10 versus Nun 2. Let's have let's see who's going to fight this week. Those two movies are going to fight. First off, Pete, since you're our guest tonight, who's going to make more money, Saw 10 or The Nun 2?
The Nun 2. I'm going to go with that one. I think it's got more relevancy, being as the Conjuring universe is way more relevant than Saw at this point. I mean, the law of diminishing returns. I haven't seen a Saw movie since I think the 5th one, maybe. I used to go see them every year when they came out, and after like 4 or 5, it was just kind of like I'm about done with this. But I think having just watched the first Nun, I see that one doing better at the box office this weekend.
Dion, Nun 2 or Saw 10?
I'm gonna go with Saw 10. The Conjuring has put in a lot of fucking groundwork. That universe, in terms of franchises overall, is a reminder that the horror genre is a goddamn heavy hitter. That being said, name brand recognition, whether it's good, bad, and indifferent, Saw has that. Especially for I'm a horror fan. Fucking hardcore horror fans. Jigsaw is kind of like, he's not the anti-hero, but he's that interesting character that even when the movies are bad, people are still drawn to him. So as much as I would rather it be the Nun 2 that makes more money, and as much as it kind of annoys the shit out of me, I'm gonna go with Saw 10.
And what do you think it's going to make?
Saw 10.
Mm-hmm.
Opening weekend, I think it's gonna do a solid, I'd say 50 mil. 50 mil.
50 mil. Pete, what do you think the Nun 2 is going to make?
Oof. I'm probably gonna say between. I'll go with about 40. I mean, I'd like to say it's gonna make more, but I don't know how much Saw is gonna make. I'll go with about 40 mil on that one. Are we just looking domestic or worldwide?
Just domestic. We don't operate outside of U.S. borders anymore.
All right, that's good. Little sovereignty in the box office. We don't worry about those Chinese releases over here. No, I'll say 40 mil for the Nun 2.
Nick, same question to both, or same questions to you, sir.
I'm gonna go the Nun because you created a new horror character with that. The creepy nun character was created in the first one, and it's once again with that whole universe from Blumhouse and things like that. That's pretty strong now. We're in the 10th Saw. I mean, how different can it be? Even though this is Nun 2, it's I'm gonna say that's gonna be the Nun, and I'm gonna say 45 million.
All right. And I'm also going Nun 2, but I'm going low as 20 million. And I'm going to guess Saw, just for the hell of it, makes $7 million this weekend.
7 million?
I'm guessing it makes something.
That's
it.
rough.
That's my guess.
Well, I mean, remember, the reason we didn't have any more Saws is because I think when 4 or 5 or 6 came out, we had Paranormal Activity, and it beat it by $1 million. And then there was no more Saws after that.
Well, that was also that bullshit ass, Saw it kind of stopped being horror and became more torture porn. Kind of.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Hostel.
Don't get me wrong, I love me some Eli Roth, but it started going into Eli Roth territory where it's like, we just want to see some crazy shit for the sake of crazy. You've got to be shitting me. Lions just turned.
I guess something happened to the fucking.
They just turned
Lions.
it over.
Yeah, oh
my God!
Damn it.
What the? Yep,
Folks,
I
you'll
just
always know exactly what time this show took place. If you're
Well,
Michigan,
we were on. Remember, we were live when the fucking Hail Mary in Detroit happened.
I think I do remember that.
It was Rogers to Rogers, and we were on the show.
Dust to dust.
And old Curtis Lendenfield, a.k.a. Dut was on the show. Shut the fuck up, bitch! I will fucking kill you! Shut up! I will beat you to death! I was furious. So, apologies for my outbursts. But
I would like one of our listeners to tell us what episode number that is so we can turn that into a button.
It's me screaming at Justin. Shut the fuck up, bitch! Over the damn Detroit line. Ain't that a bitch? Over the line.
Speaking of Eli Roth, he finally released, or is going to release it this November, Thanksgiving. The fake trailer that happened in the Grindhouse movie from, I think, 07 or 08 that everybody's seen, probably reposted millions of times throughout the years. He's finally made it and is finally releasing this Thanksgiving, this November.
How's the trailer look to you, Nick?
Yeah, he dropped the trailer today. There it is.
What was the name of the movie?
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving. Okay.
I don't remember that one.
Oh, he had his Elizabeth Banks moment, huh?
Say what?
Had his Elizabeth Banks moment where he's like, I'm just gonna make some crazy ass fucking movies, and they weren't all that great. It's like, okay, let me give the people what they actually want to fucking see. And it's essentially his Cocaine Bear.
Oh.
Yeah. Basically, we haven't gotten. I don't think we've gotten a lot of horror Thanksgiving movies except for some, big studio horror Thanksgiving movies we haven't gotten. We've gotten Christmas and other things as well. But this is, I think, he wanted to make Thanksgiving, and he just, he finally did after the once again, the Grindhouse. They came out in 2007. They had the trailers with them and everything. Everyone's like, "Oh, when are you gonna make it? When are you gonna make it?" He's like, "Oh, eventually, after I fucking fail." Remember, he had a haunted house in Vegas that lasted, I think, 10 months, and then went into bankruptcy. So that was fun. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Eli Roth. I'm glad you're back on Earth, Eli. Welcome back, buddy.
Yeah. But yeah, I think he said last year, 2 years ago, he's like, "Oh, I'm actually gonna make Thanksgiving." It's like, about fucking time.
So I guess we'll have to review that when it comes out, Nick.
Yeah, that's gonna happen. It looks fun. It looks good. I'm excited about it because there's an official trailer and a date and everything, so it looks really good.
All right, so let me take off this damn playlist off the screen. That'd be great. Sorry, I have another tab open with the show and it threw me off. I'm just like, wait, we're still looking at that? God. So, let me pull up the list and see what we're going to talk about. So, yes, folks, that is our box office game replacement for this week. The battle between Saw 10 and The Nun 2. So, guys, let's take a vote. Do we want to start with 1, the Jimmy Fallon Toxic Workplace, the Rotten Tomatoes Payola Scandal, which will be 2, or 3, the Danny Masterson Sentence?
We can start with. I love shit on Jimmy Fallon, so I'm never gonna turn that down.
All right.
I would. Yeah. I'm okay with that. That sounds good.
All right, so Jimmy Fallon. So as you guys know, Jimmy Fallon's been the late night. Is he the talk show king? Is he bigger than Jimmy Kimmel? I'm assuming Jimmy right now, and has been for the last few years. And
Well, yeah, I think the Tonight Show is probably going to be, at least name brand wise, bigger than the Jimmy Kimmel Show on ABC.
Yeah.
I used to see Jimmy Fallon host the Universal Tram Tour all the time, and like his brand of humor got so stale to me. I just, I don't know. I developed a hate for him. So this doesn't add to the help. But I'm sorry, Pete, to cut you off. What were you saying?
No, I was just gonna say Fallon is like, he stepped in. Was it for Leno? Was it after Jay Leno left?
I believe so.
That's going from a Bentley to a I don't know, a Pinto. Jimmy Fallon isn't funny. Jay Leno was a comedian. Jimmy Fallon is just a little, sniveling wimp who has horrible writing and an even worse attitude, apparently. I mean, he's never been funny. I don't honestly ever remember a time where I was like, man, Jimmy Fallon is, he's honestly, he's funny, or he's made me laugh. But the late night talk show circuit is a joke, and it has been for how long? I mean, this guy, you don't have comedians anymore, because you can't really have comedians anymore because everybody gets offended by comedy, and it kind of dampens the spirit of the art.
It does. I mean, we talk about how The Harrison's been a great comedy in years that come out in theaters, and that just adds to the climate we're in now. It's not like there's a lack of creative ideas or a lack of wonderful... I mean, there's that film where Robert Downey Jr. plays the Mexican and Jamie Foxx is, they go to Mexico for some basketball game or something. That sounds great, but they know they can't release it because it's, too controversial for the climate we live in. But screw the climate we live in. It'd be a lot better if they would have the nerve to release it and just accept, a couple Karens on the internet are going to make a stink. It's not like they're going to, get the movie banned or anything like that. Robert Downey Jr. can't get canceled for a movie. He has already done the Kirk Lazarus thing back in the day, and it's a return to form. So, yes, comedy is dead, and that really bothers me. Especially because, let me rephrase it. Comedy's not dead, because you'll see stuff, but it's more of like a independently produced comedy. Like we always say, the independent stuff is the better stuff right now. Are you guys feel the same way about that?
No, I wouldn't say that comedy is dead. I comedy is definitely in a weird place. I mean, it's definitely, I wouldn't say the phrase under attack, but it's definitely, overly criticized is what I would say is comedy. I mean, you still have, despite what the internet says, Dave Chappelle was still putting out bangers, and at the same time, again, the other side of that, the part that a lot of people don't want to talk about, is comedians are very fucking sensitive. You know, it is, and again, I said it before, I'll say it again. Comedy is the hardest form of art. You know, to make someone laugh on command is one of the hardest things to do in all of entertainment. You know, to read the will of the room, to say something that makes everybody fucking laugh. That's fucking, I mean, it's terrifying just to think about. At the same time, you know, Chris Rock, you know, we get it, man. Like, you know, some shit went down at the beginning of the year. You know, that last effort was half-assed. Hate to break it to you, that was half-assed. You know, the world stopped when Dave Chappelle came back. It was hilarious, but we're also dealing with fucking Brendan Schaub and what's that other motherfucker's name and Tom Segura. Like, you can't. I get it. You know, people are getting way too hard on comedy, but at the same time, the same shit I said to Brie Larson: do the fucking job. Do the fucking job. Tom Segura has been living on that goddamn machine bit for the last fucking decade, and he made a silly ass, bare bones movie with Luke Skywalker. I get it. Comedy's hard. That shit's unacceptable. You know, Two Bears, One Cave is a great podcast, but you are fucking almost 60, dude. You getting drunk and taking your shirt off can't be your entire fucking bit. It just can't anymore. That's fucking half-assed. You fucked up. You know, and then again, you know, people forget Joe Rogan's actually funny. And yes, comedians are kind of under fire right now. It sucks, kind of a pain in the ass. But, hey, yo, bro, what the fuck are you talking about, Joe? What the fuck are you talking about? Tell jokes, bitch. That's your job. You know, you wanting to get into it with people on Twitter all the goddamn time. You moved to Texas. Okay, you moved to Texas. Let it go. So, I love comedy. It's one of my favorite arts. But at the same time, you know, everyone clapped like a seal when Dave Chappelle was like, if you want to be taken seriously, you have to be able to take a joke. And the amount of motherfuckers in comedy right now who can't take a joke, get with it, baby. Do the job. I don't want to hear all this other bullshit. So I wouldn't say it's dead, but we're kind of at an impasse right now. You know, people have to remember what's funny, and people also, especially comedians, sometimes you got to remember, sometimes you need to shut the fuck up.
Well said.
Mic drop, motherfucker. I need another drink. I'll be right back.
So that was a really, really, really long roundabout way of trying to talk about the current state of comedy. And Jimmy Fallon is a toxic work environment. So let's wait for Dion to go get his drink. But yeah, Nick, that was a long, circuitous route to get us to where we are right now. Wouldn't you think? Or wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, very much so. No, man. I mean, yeah, comedy is under fire. We've seen that for a while now. With everything that happens, even Netflix is like trying to dial down their specials because all of a sudden, you know, they were and like I'm sure they're making a lot of money and a lot of subscriptions from Chappelle, but they were like, oh, we need to dwindle this down. It's like, okay. Then Amazon picked up the slack and they realized, you know, they can't do that either. It's terrible. But yeah, I mean they're still a handful. There's still a handful out there. Like, but yeah, it just we need to quit giving such a fuck and start laughing more. You know, that's what needs to happen.
I was going to ask you the follow-up question: is do you think there's a point that it could just be society's also not interested in laughing?
I don't know why you wouldn't. That seems odd to me. Why you wouldn't want to be happy and laugh and see something funny? I mean, we can all name, at least off the top of our head, probably 5 to 10 comedy movies that we watched as kids or as at any point in our lives that we can put on right now and watch and laugh at. You know, why would you not want that? Why would you not want that joy? Why would you not want to laugh and see something funny happen or hear a funny joke or anything like that? Like, that seems odd to me. You know?
Yeah. I mean, that's the way I feel too, but I just wanted to entertain the question.
Yeah.
So, Jimmy Fallon has been accused of creating a toxic work environment. It has been alleged through many of the larger publications today that he would come to work drunk, he would bully people. He sounds like a Ellen DeGeneres replacement, and it gets worse because the execs at NBC don't care. They don't care. They know about it, and they're still not doing anything about it, which makes the situation kind of hopeless for some. And I mean, this show, according to the sources, they've had 9 showrunners over the last 9 years. So every year they're getting rid of someone.
Oh my god.
Yeah, this isn't just like, oh, there was a hiccup, or he was rude, or he partied one night too hard, or some, understandable thing. According to this is just an ongoing thing for the better part of a decade.
And none of the last 9 showrunners are legally allowed to comment on the situation either. They're all, I believe they're all under some kind of like legal gag order. Did you see the account where he berated a staffer in front of Jerry Seinfeld, and Seinfeld basically made him apologize?
Yeah,
I did not.
I did not see that. Holy crap!
Yeah,
the drinking thing has been and again, I don't want to speak as if I have an inside track, but that's been a confirmed, non-confirmed rumor for a decade now. Right, so maybe not a full decade, but that's been a real thing. And obviously, for people that have worked with or dealt with alcoholics, that's a sign of that. Those crazy ass mood swings, amongst the other shit that Jimmy Fallon has been rumored to be indulging in while he's been with NBC. So, yeah, man. I mean, it's 9 showrunners, and again, don't get me wrong, I'm not a Jimmy Fallon fan, but that culture of late night TV, it's late night TV. So, and we live in an era now where, the internet's a big thing, baby. You can't get away with treating people like shit. And you're an alcoholic, you're on a late night TV show, and you're treating people like shit. It was only a matter of time, man. It was only a matter of time. So, yeah, if that shit is true, it's fucking wild.
So I didn't hear about the Seinfeld thing to the point where I'm just like intrigued. I mean, this is one of those stories that I'll definitely want to keep following up on, because this is just the first day the news broke. And I mean, more people could come out. A lot of people work on the set of these shows, so it's not like this is a clandestine group of people. Stuff gets out, things are said, and when news like this comes out, it emboldens a lot of people to say stuff. So I'd be very intrigued to see if somebody like our pal Andy Signor or somebody doesn't end up talking to people directly. I think this will turn into something. Look, without a lot of TV to watch or anything new coming down the pipe, this will be something to talk about. A scandal on TV that while you can't watch TV type of thing. So
they said the mental health. They have all these. Now this to me, I mean, I've worked I've worked a lot of different career paths along the way, and I've had some great, phenomenal bosses I've worked for, and I've had some downright just horrible middle managers that are like the stereotypical Office Space type manager. And this guy, just hearing the complaints, I mean, okay, so saying a lot of these people are, or I'm in therapy because of the treatment I had on the show, and I mean, to me that seems. How bad did it get to where you're literally in therapy? Because you know what I mean? That to me, that seems a bit of, jumping the shark, but I wasn't there. I don't know firsthand, so I can't, speak completely to that. Just opining, from, an armchair quarterback position, that seems pretty severe. I mean, what are the ramifications for this going to be? I mean, is he actually going to lose his job? Plus, and Jeff, you alluded to this earlier, or was it Dion? When you did, I'm sorry. The other allegations that stem from, I believe, it was the Horatio Sands case. Is that what we're? Okay, so to bring this back to Fallon in that regard, do you guys remember the Family Guy episode when he slept with Meg?
No, no.
They did cutaway. He was Meg got famous or whatever, and she was on Saturday Night Live, and I think it was Jimmy Fallon. He slept with her backstage on camera, and she was like 15. Yeah.
Yep. I do remember. Yep.
You remember that? And Peter, Peter. I think Peter beat the hell out of him. I'm just saying that was years ago, and all all this other stuff now. I mean, this just it's all bubbling beneath the surface with these people, and all it takes, because it's built on a house of cards, and once the bottom starts, one of those cards slips, and it's all going to come tumbling down. And what we're seeing now is that snowball finally rolling downhill.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, with the with the strikes happening and things like that, and nothing going on, nobody making anything, and it's been almost, I think it's been over 3 months now. Yeah, people are getting antsy, things are happening, and these late night shows have not been on for that long because they all have writers, and they're all doing best of stuff on YouTube and things like that to keep it going, but that can only go on for so long.
They have writers, Nick. Do they though? Have you seen any of these? Do they though?
I mean, they probably don't listen to the writers. They're just in a room trying to make sure these guys look somewhat competent, in front of a family at like what 10:30, 11 p.m. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think the strike is showing us just how useless those shows are. I mean, the
strike is reminding us how useless they are. It was proven to us when the shit with Jay Leno and Coco happened the first time. So obviously Jimmy Fallon followed up Jay Leno eventually, but fucking oh my gosh, I'm drawing a fucking blank. Coco, he's on TBS as his show.
Conan O'Brien, yeah.
Conan O'Brien, thank you. Sorry, fuck. That was a huge deal when it happened.
Oh yeah, dude, I was pissed.
Yeah, man, that was bullshit.
I was pro Conan O'Brien, man. I watched almost every episode that first summer he was on the air, and we were over all at this one girl's apartment in college during that final broadcast. I was like, man, this really makes me mad because they did him dirty.
It got Diane. It got Hillary and I back into late night TV. Like, we didn't watch it. We're in our fucking 20s, right? And you have to remember, late night TV is made for old people. And then when you think back to that shit happening, that was proof to the people who they should have been going after that they're worthless. So Coco was awesome. Conan O'Brien was the man. That was great. He should still have that fucking gig.
I agree.
But Jay comes back, and he works better with that demographic. So they gave him his show back. And it becomes a clusterfuck. Things settle. Jay finally leaves, and they choose, Jimmy Fallon during the Winter Olympics, right? Jimmy Fallon was never chosen for the Late Show because he was very funny. Jimmy Fallon was chosen for the Late Show because he was kind of funny on SNL, and old people liked him starting at 11 o'clock. Late night television is very fucking calculated. So much so, when I say reminded instead of proven, it was reminded when NBC tried to give Lily Singh a show. And we talked about it on our show. Late night TV, the goal is never to be legitimately genuinely entertaining. The goal is to keep people up late watching TV so you can give them ads. So Jimmy Fallon, again, imagine working in that environment. Your goal is not to be funny, bitch. Come up with some things. You do the bit where you're the chick wearing braces and John Cena's wearing some shit too. Old people laugh at that stuff, right? That's not, no one, people aren't going to remember that bit 10 years from now. So, and again, I'm not making excuses for him, but this whole apparatus of being funny enough at 11 o'clock at night on a weekday, that doesn't generate the best content, let alone the best environment to work in. And especially when you're apparently a raging alcoholic. So, it's like Etep said perfectly, it's a house of cards. That bitch is standing up in the wind right now, but one serious gust of wind, you're in deep shit because you didn't build a show on being actually funny. You built it on it's funny enough, and now this dude is treating people like shit, apparently. Good luck to you. You gotta lay in the bed you made, NBC. Have fun. I don't feel bad for him.
I don't
I
think
feel
many
bad
people
for the
feel
people
so
that
bad.
work there. But this dude, every bit that Jimmy Fallon does is this like cheeky, hey, your mom's gonna love this shit.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like that's not you don't give the audience any reason to give you the benefit of the doubt when shit like this comes out. Don't get me wrong. People who are bad people deserve, they deserve to get in trouble. But Ellen DeGeneres didn't just get in trouble because she was treating her staff like shit. She got in trouble because you are daytime television. You are supposed to be funny enough, especially when your whole vibe is being good and funny and making people feel better. It wasn't just that she would treat people like shit. You are going against what you're selling to stay-at-home moms every day. That doesn't play. So we'll see how Jimmy Fallon fares with this, because again, the whole gimmick was you make grandma and grandpa laugh. So we'll see how it plays out, but it is not looking good, man. That house of cards, it's real comfortable when you're sitting in it, but when that shit starts falling down, it's a whole different situation.
It is. I don't think I could add anything to that. I think that was pretty well said there, Dion.
Oh, shit, thanks, man.
Pete, Nick, anything else you guys want to say about Jimmy Fallon?
I got nothing.
I really don't have anything else to add. Dion summed it up. This guy he's obviously kind of a scumbag. But like we said, which one of you name me one of them that's not now, and
right.
you'll win a prize. They're all scumbags. They're all addicts. They all have these weird proclivities that we won't mention on YouTube, and it's just the veneer is lifted, and we the curtain, we see the great and powerful Oz back there, berating cue card holders for messing up because he's been on a bender for 4 days and he's cranky. That's sad. That's sad, because you think about the rank and file that have to work around that every day and deal with that. They're on eggshells because they can't say something wrong, or a pin drops and this guy freaks out on you, and next thing you know, your family's not eating because you lost your job because your boss is a drunk.
Yep.
It's a sad state of affairs.
And even worse, you have like interns and people like that who are trying to get into the business thinking that, oh, this is a good jumping off point, and they have to deal with this for however long until they find their next gig with the next abusive, higher up that they get. So yeah.
Exactly.
Well, even then, the whole like I said, the whole apparatus, right? So, and we've said it collectively on the show multiple times, that's what happens to you also when you don't know how the internet works. Don't get me wrong, man. People who do bad things deserve to pay for it. And if this is all true, he should face some consequences. But people who are older, and, I wouldn't say that Jimmy Fallon's old, but people who are older refuse to acknowledge the internet is undefeated, bitch. So you operating from a place of no one's going to know about this. It's NBC. Yeah, to Pete's point, these are all weird ass proclivities. No one's going to know about it. We work for NBC. Nah, bitch. This is the age of the internet where NDAs, unless they can prove it's you saying it, don't mean shit. And especially when you're an asshole, which again, we're going to wait to see what comes out of this. But if Jimmy Fallon is that level of an asshole, the internet loves that. And this is, that's what got Ellen. The same thing, this reluctance to understand the new age you are living in. You might get away with it for a while. Ask Kevin Spacey. His ass was running around being a meme on Family Guy until the internet was like, you know what, we'll give you a voice to say this shit. Right or wrong, the internet is undefeated. And, Jimmy's learning that thing. He's learning it the same motherfucking way. You can't be an asshole and treat people like shit, even if you work for NBC, when we can all say whatever the fuck we want on the internet these days. So we'll see, man. I'm excited to see what happens for Mr. Dad Joke. So
it's a bold strategy. Let's see how it plays out for him.
Yeah, exactly.
Final question: does this kill his career?
I don't know. It's hard to
clinging. He's clinging to it as it is.
Yeah, I mean him and the other four idiots have a podcast, like 5 episodes or 6 episodes or whatever the hell it is they're doing, because they want to make money for their workers because they care. It's like, if you actually really cared, how about you sell one of your fucking houses and give the money to that I don't know, the SAG union thing or whatever payment shit they have, or that bullshit. Like,
Their
just
wives
do that.
won't sleep with them if they do that.
Their wives' boyfriends are putting in the heavy lifting anyway. So.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, somebody's man.
Sandwiches.
Yeah. The tennis coaches do have to get paid. Okay, they do have to get paid. Oh god.
How much is the going rate these days for one, Nick?
I don't know, man. It's everything gets more expensive out there. I assume it's like, I don't know, $5,000 an hour, $10,000 an hour out there for a tennis lesson. I guess that seems like the median rate out there.
I had the wrong career, man. I know a little bit about tennis from Mario Tennis. I could have parlayed that into a couple.
Listen. All you need to do is out there, as long as you have confidence and you're a little bit of an asshole, they'll think you're the guy. They'll think you're you know what you're talking about. That's it. That's all it takes. That's all it takes.
Well, you tell me this after I move, so thanks.
I don't want you to say that. I didn't want you to be there longer, motherfucker.
If I was a tennis coach, I'd have had a nice racket. Fuck, I didn't mean that as a pun. I'm sorry. But seriously, I did not. I would have had a nice situation. You guys could have come out, and we would have been like, fuck, maybe we will build a headquarters out here. Now fund it with my tennis money.
Well, now we can have an even bigger compound in someplace more affordable, okay?
That's
World
fair.
Class Bullshitters Tennis Club.
WCB STC.
Too many fucking letters. Too many fucking letters.
Oh my god, yeah. Believe me, I was if I couldn't get it out one time. Oh. So, I'm just reading the comments in the chat. People do not like the late night show host podcasts. They do not like the late night show hosts. And I guess my final statement is because they got fucking, besides being unfunny, some of us can't stand it because they get political and they push shit on you, and you're just like, I didn't watch a late night show to hear this. I just wanted to see what The Rock was going to say about his new movie.
Right.
Yeah. Well, and that's how they get you to watch longer. And for commercial breaks, they have the celebrities on there talking about the new movie, which, even in the last 5 years, has proved pointless for any sort of like movement on movies when they come out. Like, nobody cares anymore. You can watch those interviews the next morning, like while you're taking a shit, while on your way to work. Like, you can just do that. You don't need to be up at late at night and watch this thing and see what they say about the movie and watch the trailer, whatever the bullshit is. You can just watch it afterwards.
Yeah, the delivery system is much different these days.
Yeah.
I mean, I recently got into watching wrestling on Hulu, where I just watch segments of it and then watch a little bit of it on YouTube. I used to be Mr. I gotta watch every minute of it on television. I can't miss a moment of Raw. Now I'm just like, I'll just catch it online.
Yeah.
Wrestling fans are the absolute worst, I have to say, man.
We are.
Damn. Like, and I count myself in that because I'm as guilty as the next, because I'm not, I'm not in the business anymore. I'm just a fan now. And those AEW groups on Facebook, oh my God.
I love them. They're terrible.
I posted a toy video yesterday because somebody was like, oh, look what Hangman Adam Page posted. Haha, CM Punk's on clearance. I'm like, oh yeah? I was at Walmart the other day. Here's about 20 Adam Pages. Look, here's Peg Warmer Page. And I got, actually, a bunch of I'm like, oh my God, it's a bunch of Wojaks. And they, it's just, I'm like, look, I'm not the hugest CM Punk fan in the world, but if we're comparing career value metrics between Hangman Adam Page and CM Punk, I'll tell you who's going to draw more money, and in 20 years, ain't nobody going to remember Hangman Adam Page. I'm sorry.
Very true.
Your dime store cowboy there, who looks like John Travolta on Urban Cowboy. I mean, just, oh God.
Well, again, I think that's another example of a form of entertainment that is struggling to find the next phase. Like, yes, you want to be able to move merchandise, but like it doesn't just happen out of thin air, Exactly. So people trying to act. Don't get me wrong. I like me some Hangman Adam Page,
Do you?
You know,
I see.
but
Not a fan.
it's pro wrestling has kind of been in a weird place, because Vince wanted to be ESPN. So now you have something else happening right now, and he had an interesting run of the title. It's they're figuring their shit out. Is all I'm saying. They're figuring their shit out. And while you may be right, long term, career wise, but I'll give you $100 right now if you can tell me a locker room that will bring his ass in tonight.
Ooh,
say what
Punk?
you want about Hangman Adam Page, but CM Punk reminded everyone that he is CM Punk.
He's not going to go back. He's not going to go back to the Fed. They're not going to. Triple H doesn't want him. Where's he going to go? Impact or over to Japan? And you go to Japan, cool. There's some great wrestling over there. But when I'm watching wrestling here, I want to see American style. I was trained Tennessee style. I like the high flying stuff when it has its time and place. Like we watched Dynamite last night. What's his name? Darby Allin and Nick Wayne. They had a solid match. It looked like a cruiserweight match. I don't like Darby Allin going over on Big Bill. Get out of here. Miss me with that, pimpin'. Miss me with it. I'm not. Suspension of disbelief is not there, But when you have those two and they're okay, now we've got a nice, a nice blend of their styles. They work well together. They're the same size. It's, but I don't watch much WWE. We stream like every AEW show on Draven's channel. So I watch all of this stuff. And it's like, I don't agree with Jim Cornette on everything, but it's like some of the stuff he says makes sense about AEW. But for me, the biggest thing is the booking. It is just the booking. It's just, hey, here's 2 random guys. Let's go have a match. Or here's 8 guys. Let's have a scrum. It's like, Jesus, please don't do WCW again. And I want to see them succeed. I do. Because WWE needs competition. There needs to be variety. In the U.S., there needs to be a couple major promotions. Impact was never it. Impact was never going to be it. I mean, that was, they had their little moment in the sun, and it's not, oh, I wonder what Impact's doing. It's, how is Impact still around? I mean, that's, But I have a couple guys that I came into the business with that are in Impact right now. Jake Something, who just worked Sonata for a title. And, it's Ranjan something over there. I can't remember what name he works under. He used to be Mad Dragon Hakeem Zane. He's from around the Flint-Saginaw area in there. But we used to work in Saginaw, down to Detroit, all around again. He's a super cool guy. But they're both in Impact. And it's like, I want to see them succeed. I want to see them do well. I'd love to see Impact kind of have a little bit of a resurgence. But it's just like, I look at AEW and it's like, man, Tony Khan needs help booking. That's what, just please let somebody book. And as the owner of the company and the promoter, stop being friends with the boys. That does not work. That's never a good environment backstage, because even if it's well intentioned at first, it always ends up in people taking advantage of you. And that's from experience, because every wrestling locker room is political, everyone. And I don't mean political on a national sense. I mean the backstage politics, and it can ruin a promotion. And we've seen it happen in AEW with the backstage stuff with Punk and the Elite and all that. And like I said, I don't agree with the way things are handled, but it's just, I want to see it get better, obviously, because there's a lot of great talent there. There's a ton of talent there. They have a huge roster. And it's like, if they put together, like Wembley, like they have now the biggest show in wrestling history, the biggest event, you know what I mean? So it's like, build on that, build on that. Make people want to tune back in. Bring your buy rates up. That's all I'm saying. Sorry for the rant.
Oh, it's okay. I just wondered whose printer just went offline.
No, I'm getting a bunch of fucking work emails after all that bullshit today.
One of these days, Dion's just going to start responding to him on air like, all right, Jim, I'm sorry that the office wasn't locked, blah, blah, blah. Dion. You seem like the type of dude that wouldn't. I know you don't work at Target. I would never say. I would never say it on air. Well, I know you had a rough day at work, so we'll leave that alone.
Yeah. He had to deal with some asshole protesters. That picture you sent us was hilarious. I'm sorry. you like the look on your face is like, I have to be here right now for this. Like, it wasn't even like fear or like anything else. Like, I have to be here in case one of these motherfuckers fuck up. That was the look on your face.
Working in the trenches, man. Working in the trenches.
I could imagine you'd be like, like some protester would be like, your company does this and the other. You're like, listen, I don't care, don't come any closer. What are you gonna do about it? Don't test me. What are you gonna do about it? Last warning. Oh, I'm stepping over the line. Baton to the face.
I'm cool, calm, and collected, baby.
Yeah, I told
Nick,
you.
You're the
not
coldest
to step over
motherfucker on this podcast.
Told you not to step over the line. I warned you 3 times.
Harsh but fair.
Yeah, and then every all those protesters bring out their iPhone. It's like, how dare you do that, man?
That's how that stuff works, man. That's how that stuff works.
And then you're like, listen, I told you 3 times in English, very clearly, not my problem.
Now, what we should talk about next is, I guess we're talking about Law and Order and such, is Danny Masterson. So, Hyde of that 70s show. We all grew up watching that 70s show, or that series of episodes of Roseanne that featured Danny Masterson. He was a name before that 70s show. And now his name is associated with something much sadder and much darker. So let's pull up a picture of old Danny Masterson. So Danny Masterson has had some legal trouble for quite a while. And today he was sentenced for, let's say, crimes against women. That's what the court decided. And so, I guess to say this as diplomatically as possible, Danny Masterson has been sentenced to 30 years to life in prison. So he'll be in his 70s, his late 70s, before he's even eligible for parole. But yeah, this is a serious punishment for a serious, sentence. Like, what did you guys take away from this? Were you surprised with the severity of it, or do you think he'll be able?
Yeah.
The first question.
Yeah, pretty much. Like when I heard, like over the years, he's in court, things like that still happening. Then when I think Kendo put it in our chat, I was like, damn, that's crazy. But that's what you get.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's obviously, there's so many layers to it. Obviously his fame, him being a member of the Church of Scientology, the instances in question being from like 2001 and 2003, and him, at least according to a jury of his peers, this dude was a dark fucking monster, man. And, I think the surprise for me at least came from, you hear other cases in other jurisdictions and they get less time. And obviously, a lot of the responses to those type of cases are kind of like, yo, man, why the fuck they only get, this amount of years? They gave that dude 30 years to life, which, again, based on the factors at hand, he deserved it. But man, like, I was definitely surprised that he actually got a lengthy to life sentence for that. So yeah, that was, obviously, you want the victims to be okay. But man, like I did not think that they were going to bring the hammer down on old Hyde, and they did, and they did, and hey, based on what we hear, it's that's what you get. Like Nick said.
Where's the Joker clip right now? You get what you can deserve,
Well, hold on. I guess we'll press it for you. That's a
yeah. We got it. We got it somewhere. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, it's somewhere around here, right?
Did you delete it? Did you delete it?
You think I really deleted the Joker button?
You gotta have them alphabetized.
Well, I didn't delete the Joker button, Nick.
Okay.
It's right here. It's just something else on this channel.
Get what you fucking deserve!
Oh my gosh!
We haven't seen the motorcycle in a while. I missed it.
I know.
What's that guy been into? Is he in jail or is he dead? What's going on with him?
I don't know. I don't really want to know.
Yeah, no one cares. No one cares.
He's out.
He's out.
He's out.
Of prison?
He's out of the atmosphere for sure.
He's just out. He's just out of consciousness. Nobody remembers. He's out.
All right. So, Nick, did you have a chance to say what you wanted to say about this one?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Pete?
Oh, 30 years is, he must just be a heinous just piece of garbage. And just for context, because Dion, you mentioned, other sentences and jurisdictions and things like that. I have a cousin doing life, and he deserves to be there, and, he may rot. And, what he did was, this is, I don't disagree. I don't. The guy's a monster, obviously. Like Dion said, a jury of his peers said, hey, this is what we recommend. And the judge concurred and said, all right, this is the sentence. But, man, and these charges are, 20-some years old. And the trial got, postponed or dismissed once already. Yep. And then they came back with it. Yeah, mistrial. That's right. They declared a mistrial. It was about 5-6 months ago. And for them to come back and and this is the result. May he rot. Get what you deserve, and this guy's obviously getting it. And it's kind of ironic, though. The Church of Scientology usually protects their members in high standing, which speaks volumes about what they thought about his value, what he brought to them in terms of return on investment. To just not use all their legal resources, which they obviously were like, we'll just, because they've gotten some people off on a lot of things, let's be honest, they get away with a lot. So they were not willing to do the normal thing that normally happens for Hollywood people, and they kind of, unless you're Harvey Weinstein, you get thrown to the wolves, and this guy is he's getting thrown to the wolves, which he deserves to do because he's a monster.
Yeah, this is what happens when you can't pay your dues for the for the higher level of Scientology. Like he missed one fucking payment, because he had to pull out from his savings into his checking. It takes 3 days to come through, and it just didn't go through. And Scientology's like, fuck you, putting you in jail. It's like, god damn, man.
He's like, the way my bank account is set up.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a motherfucker, apparently, 30 to life. It's like, god damn it, the money didn't come in fast enough.
He's like, how you like me now?
This
is what I get for using credit. This is what I get for using credit union.
Like you guys, I was surprised with the severity of the sentence. I, don't do the crime if you don't, plan on doing the time, like it says on the screen right there from Dean H. It's just another one of those dark chapters in pop culture, but maybe he'll appeal. Maybe he'll get a lighter sentence. Who knows? I'm not a judge. I'm not the judge, so I really don't have any further to look into it. But he's been persona non grata with that 70s shows, and it's kind of sad because one, what he did, but two, they've been coming back. They've had a nice reunion show with that 90s show. It always feels a little weird, when Hyde's not there, because I know why exactly he's not there. It's not like he didn't, a contract dispute. He is not there for a specific reason. And it kind of taints me watching the new stuff, not the old stuff. Like, whatever, that's a different time. I'm not even worried about that. But watching that 90s show, and they're like, oh, I'm this character's kid, and I'm that character's kid. And to see them all together without him, it's just like, ooh, okay.
Yeah. I wonder if his first night on the block, if he's going to be walking in and somebody's going to be in there, instead of yelling fish, they're going to be like, hanging out down the block. Not a thing to do but sodomize you. Just something like that. You're not all right.
Dude,
You're not all right. I don't know.
He would punch out a guard so fucking quick to be in solitary. It wouldn't be. It wouldn't even be
Put
funny.
me in the hole. Put me in the hole. Wrong phrasing. Wrong phrasing.
I said me, not it. That song should be added to our group Spotify playlist, Nick.
Yeah, baby, the soothing vocals of E-Temple Korean.
Right on.
I'll go back to use my radio voice.
Oh, well, good luck with everything, Danny Masterson. Anything else you guys want to say? I don't know what else to say.
I mean, don't drop the soap and beat up the the biggest baddest motherfucker you see in there, so you can at least survive a week. I don't know what to tell you.
You shouldn't have been a piece of shit.
Yeah, you know.
Yep.
Now, I did make a mistake, guys. It happens, I know. Shocker. But I forgot to read the word of the day from Shrubbles 08, and it's queef. So this will be a nice transition from the dour Danny Masterson segment. We have Queef Busters 2016, Debbie Does Queefs, and My Black Ass Queef. Wait, and My Black Asses presents Dion Green and Lo Mein with a side of queef fry.
Oh my god. Jeez.
Queef 2 Judgment Day.
Oh, speaking of My Black Ass, Outlaw Johnny Black, Dion comes out next Friday in theaters.
Yep, 15th.
Yep.
Dude, we're fucking reviewing the shit out of that. It's officially happening. We'll see if it continues.
Oh god, I'm gonna be so tired that weekend. I'm still gonna fucking watch it. I don't care.
Yeah,
I'm gonna fucking watch it.
Sacrifices have to be made to finally fucking watch this goddamn movie.
I agree. If anybody's curious to see what understand what we're talking about, what the fuck's the guy's name? God damn it.
Michael J. White.
Michael J. White. Yeah, Michael J. White, who did Black Dynamite, finally did another movie in his funny blaxploitation, I guess, trilogy. The next one's going to come out in 2045. But this one's called Outlaw Johnny Black. It's finally out. It's going to come out next weekend, and I am so fucking happy to watch it.
Yes, dude. Finally.
Yeah.
Fucking finally.
Yeah. So it's out in theaters. Definitely check it out if you can. If you like Black Dynamite, hopefully this will be up to par, and just as good. So yeah.
So, any more Queef titles, guys? We got to give the audience some Queef titles besides Queef Busters 2016, like Big Trouble in Little Queefa.
Dude, where's my queef?
Dude, where's my queef? Back to the queefs.
Queef Day the 13th, Part 6, Jason Queefs. The Wedding Queefer.
Here comes the queef.
I like that.
Silence of the queefs.
The big queef.
The
Shot
Big
of
Queefowski.
Queef Redemption.
Yep.
The Cable Queef.
Schindler's Queef.
The Green Queef.
Queef on the roof.
If I was a queef man, all day long I'd queefy bum. No, I don't know. It's a work in progress.
It's fine. The musical's on its way. It's all right.
Nick, add that to the list too, sir.
Okay. Sorry. Queefs on a plane.
Yep.
A Nightmare on Queef Street.
Yes. Oh my god.
Oh god.
It's Always Sunny in Queef Philadelphia.
Queef water.
No Country for Old Queefs.
Oh my god.
Queef 2 Cruise Control.
Oh god.
Or we could do
Goodwill
Speed 2 Queef Control. Like, it's up to you guys.
Goodwill Queefing.
Beverly Hills. What about Beverly Hills Queef?
That hurts my heart.
Yep. The queef ninja.
the man who queefed to Earth.
To bounce off Dion's 3 ninjas queef back.
Oh my god!
3 men in a queef.
3 men in a queef.
That's fucked up.
Yeah, man, that's a way different video, right?
Yeah. I don't think Leonard Nimoy would direct that one.
Low down dirty queef.
Low down.
Oh,
dirty.
Nick.
I'm on a roll,
Starring-
goddammit. I'm trying to go through this.
Oh wait, on that note, I'm gonna get you Queefa.
Queef.
I'm gonna queef
More
you, sucker.
Keenan Ivory Queef.
I'm gonna queef you, sucker.
Is that what you said last week, Dion?
The French queef.
Hey, when you're feeling it, you're feeling it.
Rumble in the queef.
Face.
Yep. 2 great ones.
Queef with the wind.
A queef in the
Golden
Bronx.
Queef.
Queef.
No Holds Queefed. The Queef Connection. The Forbidden Queef. Bridge on the River Queef. Yes. All queefings on the Western Front. The Queef Hunter. Harry Potter and the Chamber of Queef.
Oh my god.
The Queef and the
Pale
Dead.
The Queef and the Dead.
Pale Queefer.
Pale Queef. Oh, God.
Queef Street Blues. That's my favorite. Oh my god, this is amazing. So, folks, thank you.
Tinker Tailor Soldier Queef.
You think we can get Gary Oldman back for that one?
Probably,
Absolutely.
probably. He didn't do it too much now. Oh brother, where art thou, Queef?
Birds of Queef and the Fantabulous Emancipation of One Harley Queef.
Robo Queef.
Ooh. Queef Cop. Turner and Queef.
Turner and Queef.
The Running Queef.
Running Queef.
Queef Mando.
Queef.
Demolition Queef.
Dodge and Queef.
Demolition. Oh my god.
Stop or my
Queefoween?
mom will queef.
Please stop is right.
Ferris Bueller's Queef.
Yep.
Did
Ferris
anybody
Bueller's
say
Queef
Tango
off?
and Did anybody say Tango and Queef yet?
Tango,
Not
no.
yet. Oh my god, total tweet.
Lock, stock, and two smoking queefs.
Queef in the Wilderness.
Gone with the Queef?
That's a good one. That's a good
Queef in the Wind.
Queef in Queef in 60
Queef in
seconds.
60
one.
seconds.
Oh my god. Queef.
Two Queef, Two Furies.
Oh my god.
Tokyo Queef.
Oh god damn it. We're going international. Fuck.
Yeah.
Queef me if you can.
That's an interesting challenge, Nick.
I know.
That's a
I
good
know.
one. From Russia with Queef.
Doctor Strange Glover, How I Learned to Stop Queefing and Love the Bomb. Wet Hot American Queef. I'm stopping. I can't go any further. I'm sorry. I've gone too far. I've gone too far.
I like this side of you, Nick. You should we should talk about queefs more often, folks. Thank you.
What about Queef Away Camp, Nick?
Damn it. That brings the movie like all the way to 2023. It really does. It really does.
They made that. It was called They Them.
Oh god.
I saw that. It was terrible.
It was
So
fucking
did we.
terrible.
We reviewed it live. It was so bad.
So bad. So bad.
Damn it, Kevin Bacon. Why? Why Footloose?
Well,
Dude,
he wanted to return to his roots of, horror camp movies, and he chose that one.
I heard he.
But
won a
he
Golden
won't
Queefy
show up
for
at a
that.
horror convention to save his life.
No.
See.
I mean,
Damn it,
just,
Kevin, you're not too big.
I mean, wait 10 more years when nobody gives two shits about him, like really, and then he'll probably do a couple of them.
Well, good for you, Kevin Bacon.
Oh,
The
good
greatest
for
Avenger of all
you.
time. All right, guys. So we had this message. We'll address it, I guess, now because it was our next segment anyway. From Szorzian. So, folks, we will have our super chat session like we always do. But he says, Bounding into Comics is reporting the latest James Bond novel has a villainous white man who opposes wokeness, and he wants the buzz his wolf girlfriend button. We'll get to that in a moment. But have you guys heard about On His Majesty's Secret Service, the newest James Bond novel by Charlie Higgins?
Wait, hold on. Hold on. They're rewriting them or putting more out. What's happening?
There's
this-
more.
this- Yes, there's more. I spent like an hour talking about this on my member stream earlier. Just the article, kind of breaking down the passages and just the subtext in them. It is, wow. Like I don't know if you're gonna go into like depth about like some of the passages, but they have they quote them in the article, and there are sequences where they're in the villains like group because Bond is undercover as one of his like lead assassins that's leading his team of mercenaries. And there's a passage where Bond it's like his inner monologue, and he's thinking, boy, this guy didn't pick a diverse group for his for his mercenaries. There's no people of color. There's no disabled people here. It's like,
is this
yes,
real?
because
You
this
guys
is real.
aren't reading some shit.
I'm thinking,
from some
I'm like,
crazy ass joke website. Here we go. That's a pick six, bitch. Take it. But this isn't like a joke website doing this, right?
Right. This is real, Dion.
this is real. There's, like I said, man,
What?
the passages from this book are like insane. It's right out of like a 2016 playbook.
Well, you know
It's
what?
hilarious.
Let's talk about this officially. I got the article. It's got highlights. We're going to
Let's
talk
go to
about
the
this.
background, because there's no
Yeah.
way that this is like. Now, is this like an independent? Like this is, he says it's a Bond thing and it's a Bond thing, or is this something that's like an official?
This is an official novel,
Yeah,
Dion.
this is official.
Yeah, I get the. Is it officially part of the canon?
Yes.
What? Send that fucking article. This can't be fucking real. This is some goofy ass, crazy motherfucker. What?
This is real. Let me get you one that has actual highlights of the book in it, because this is going around the internet right now. Sorry, I'm trying to type this in and talk at the same time. Pete, would you send us the article to the group chat, the one that
Yeah.
you have?
Yep, got it.
Because I got one I'm going to read on air. But yeah, Dion, this is 100% real. This is not a drill. This is not a joke. So let's start talking about some 007. The latest James Bond novel makes it abundantly clear the white men are the villains who oppose wokeness. The latest James Bond novel, On His Majesty's Secret Service by Charlie Higson, which arrived on bookshelves back in May, features white men who oppose the wokeness as villains. In the book's official synopsis, it shares it's 4th of May, 2 days before the coronation of King Charles III, and the world's favorite spy has his work cut out for him. Bond is sent at the last minute to thwart an attempt to disrupt the coronation of wealthy, eccentric, and self-styled Ephesian of Wessex, who is on a deadly mission of his own to teach the United Kingdom a lesson. Can Bond dismantle his shady plans and defeat his privately hired team of mercenaries? Well, that's the question we all don't care about, because we want to talk about these villains who it has some of the weirdest shit ever for a James Bond novel. So, Dion, do you believe it's real yet?
I believe that it is real. Yes.
Okay. Now, while the synopsis of the book doesn't make it clear who this villain is, a screenshot of the book from Leo Kearse on Twitter shares what it's actually saying. The excerpt shared by Leo Kearse is part of the Bond infiltrating Athelstan's organization, and more specifically his Anglo-Saxon castle, in order to imposes Peter Sandburn, the leader of a group of 30 mercenaries. Kearse's expert sees Bond observing a number of guests who have all been invited to the villain's castle. It specifically describes a man named Roger Burkett. Burkett was an ex-Tory MP, famous for promoting COVID vaccines, mask-wearing, 5G conspiracy theories, which had spilled over into the usual anti-immigration, anti-EU, anti-BBC, anti-MSM, anti-cultural Marxist climate change denial pronouncements. It was a anti-trans diatribe that had eventually got him kicked out of the party, and he'd soon be set up in the New Freedom Party. That's an excerpt from the book.
Dear God.
Yep.
It continues, but I'll get to that in a minute. Let me hear what you think, Dion.
That's wild. Like that's really wild. So did they actually use these phrases in the book?
Yeah, the picture.
That is an expert, like a literal excerpt.
I'm looking at the Twitter thing.
Trans?
Yeah, it's
Everything I read is verbatim.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right out of the book. That's right off the page.
Damn.
It continues. Bond was struck by something. It was a longer while since he'd been at any kind of function, and it was mostly exclusively full of men. It felt strange. There was not even a presence of diversity here. The villain had been at least a bit concerned about ensuring that half the people he'd hired carry out his coup should be women, or non-white, or disabled. That was an unapologetically old-school gathering. And if the villain's name is weirdly hard to say. Alceston's world, he was king, can do whatever he wanted. There's more. It says, however, This excerpt isn't the most egregious part of the book. As Bond arrives for the party, Higson writes, he wanted to blend in, not draw attention to himself. He was Peter Sanborn, someone who was serious about his job. He just hoped to God that everyone else wasn't going to be wearing cloaks and hoods and jingling about in chainmail. Upon entering the main room, Bond observes, many of the men in the room could be described as ex-something, ex-military, ex-politician, ex-media pundit for hire. They'd become more and more extreme in their views and too toxic, unruly, and unsafe to remain affiliated with the radical groups they'd joined. When you become too far out, too far right organization, you know you're really on the outside. Okay. But just look at them now with their champagne and nibbles, their shiny shoes, their beaming faces. They were firmly on the inside and loving it. They'd found their tribe, and very soon they were going to announce themselves to the world. No longer outcast, no longer canceled, no longer marginalized, no matter what, they were going to be the new overlords. And there was only one person standing between them and the chaos. James Bond. What the fuck is this? This has to get its own video. I'll clip this, I'll put this out. This needs a deep dive. This is some
It needs a
really
motherfucking
stupid
deep dive,
writing.
dude. This is ridiculous.
It needs a lobotomy.
That is so weird. That is so weird. That is so weird. That is buzzwords the book. That's fucking crazy.
Yep.
Dion is
Like I
just
said-
like Dion is just entirely awestruck by this.
I don't even know what to fucking say.
The fact
That's a-
that Dion cannot make a goddamn speech about this right now tells you how bad this is.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
Dion. Now, one last thing, guys. Let me read you the final quote. As Bond made his way through the room, he makes further observations about who these men are. The men he talked to invariably started off to show they'd been streaming, travel, sport, or women's, or cars, and so on, moved on to laughing about how much they hated cyclists and bus lanes and congestion, charging and traffic claiming, and how the global warming was a con, and sooner or later the round of big woke conspiracy, Black Lives Matter, the Great Replacement, and what are we going to do about the Muslims? James Bond novels, folks. I'm not going to
Bond
read every
novels-
single one. Holy
James
shit.
Bond novels in 2023. Okay.
Wow.
Damn.
That's wild. That is.
Who's the writer's name again, Jeff?
Charlie
Higson?
Higson.
Yeah.
This is not his first James Bond, though. See, there we go. Joseph Bian, which I already knew. He wrote the Young James Bond novels, which I never read because I had James Bond Jr. as a kid. I didn't need this. But this is 100% real. I'm going to make a video on it. I'm almost curious enough to read the book since I haven't picked up any of the newer James Bond novels.
Here's the thing. I mean, I understand, doing research and reading the book and things like that. I don't want you to get the book surely for your own mental health and your own health in
Right.
general, because I don't want you to have a coronary reading the first 3 pages.
You'll be like
Yeah.
one of those staffers on the Fallon show in therapy because you read this book, man. I don't know. Yeah, like Nick said.
Yeah, I mean, you're welcome. You're welcome to come to either me or Dion to read the book because he might be on suicide watch, man.
Seriously, man, that is. I still don't even know what to say about that. Like, that sounds like a bad skit.
Did Anita
it's called
Sarkeesian
reality.
ghostwrite this?
Probably.
That sounds like something she'd say. It was like a 2014 Gamergate. I don't know. Isn't it like this is you can't just have James Bond picking up a hot woman, having his martini shaken, not stirred, sitting there at the poker table or the roulette wheel. No, he's got to think about social climate and make sure his electric car is plugged in outside and he politely walks by everybody and doesn't bump or misgender somebody when he's pummeling them. Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, my pronouns are I'm sorry, I've wronged you. I must go atone. I'll make a donation to a climate change fund. I don't know. I'll take my
James
Bud
Bond,
Light
carbon
shaken, not
neutral.
stirred.
Oh my god.
Yeah, is Dylan Mulvaney the new Bond girl? I mean, is that what we're doing?
Listen,
You
don't give them
laugh.
ideas. Don't give them fucking ideas. Don't give them
In
fucking ideas.
2025, there will be another one of these damn novels written by Charlie Higson on
Hey,
their
listen,
Majesty's
man.
Secret Service, and that one will feature John
I
Mulvaney.
think
Welcome to
I
the
think
future.
I think they're using this. I think they're using this so they can once again make this canon and make the new movie with their. I don't know, with their unicorn Bond person they want for the franchise or something. I don't fucking know.
But what's the goddamn point? This is so dumb. It's just
Dude,
it's like
what
what?
was
Why does James Bond drunk? Did he get kidnapped by a Blofeld and did he implant some like dickhead chip into him or something? Because this is so dumb. I can't believe James Bond's like, they're not very diverse. They probably talk about woke conspiracies. Like Charlie Higson, you sir should have your head checked out.
So just to be clear, right? Like that's one reason why it's done, right? Not that is the subject matter. Like if you're doing a espionage story, right? A villain that is prejudice is not new, right? So there's nothing wrong with having a villain that you even touching on to topical. Like right now, the right wing thing is topical, right? The Punisher did that years ago, right? That all being said, when you're doing it from a place of one, trying to be topical, and two, you're eliminating the parts that make that a hugely complicated and hugely impactful issue. Like it's not that the issue with dealing with a villain with that the issue isn't that they're not diverse. The issue is that someone is wildly prejudiced and targeted. Like there's ways to do that. Much more talented authors, Dean Koontz touched on that, Robert Love, like that, much more talented. But when you do it just to use buzzwords and nomenclature from the time period, it usually means it's very poorly fucking written.
It dates the book.
Make no mistake.
Yes.
That shit is not unheard of, right? But if James Bond, when he's working on a mission, is like, he didn't pick a very diverse like it's not an intro breakdown of your enemy that you make. Like you may say, hey, listen, we know this dude is evil. He hates this group and this group, blah, 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 blah. Da, da, da. It's not a throwaway line that you use just to describe him as evil. That's why that's so bad.
Yeah.
And it's that's crazy. It's done absolutely crazy.
It's done so heavy-handed it can't even be subtle. That's the thing, like you were talking about, Dion. One of my favorite movies is a Canon Films movie called Avenging Force. And the bad guys, led by John Ryan, are called Pentangle, and they are a far right-wing organization. They're a bunch of old, white, powerful businessmen, and they have this network, it spreads across the nation, and they hunt people for sport in the bayous of Louisiana in addition to doing all their other evil right-wing things. And that was done. It was a Canon Films movie, and it was done right. It was like, this is, without getting into the weeds of things, these guys are bad. They're the bad guys. This is why. Okay. They don't want immigrants. They didn't like black people. They were racist. They were a racist organization. That was made clear. It was like that's what it is. And you see why, because they go after Steve James' family, who's like running for Senate or city council, something like that. They kill him and his family. And then, Michael Dudikoff, they were partners in like special forces. Like he has to help avenge him. And because he's there when it happens. And it's like, it was so well written. And you'll see something like this, and it's James Bond. And Jeff, like you said, you're a James Bond expert, and you're laughing at this like it's parody, but this is serious canon. It's like, how can you call yourself a writer? This is like just reading those few excerpts you did. And like I said, I covered it earlier. We were talking about it. This is like what? Middle school level writing? Like, honestly, this is not a wide release type book. I mean, I wrote better stuff than this on the back of notebooks. This is hilarious that this is what passes for literature now.
Yeah, that's
absolutely. I read some of these passages before the show, but I'm just kind of letting all of it sink in right now and formulating my plan for the video that I'll release tomorrow or Saturday morning at the latest. I'm gonna have to listen to this on Audible, Nick. I'm sorry. I'll give you a call after I'm done.
Oh no.
You better constantly text me and text me and Dion constantly just to make sure like you're okay. Honestly, all right.
Seriously, man. This is
Okay, I can do that.
No,
bad
and
shit.
I'm half serious because it's like it's one of the things where it's like this is so absurd that it may fucking break you. Honestly,
You're not wrong.
yeah,
At
because
all.
yeah, it's because even Dion couldn't believe it. He could not fucking believe it, and
Nope.
it's a thing.
I thought it was a fucking joke.
Yeah.
No, not at all.
What the fuck?
It's all too real.
That's so
It is
wild.
all too real, sir.
Yeah. All I can say is, if you don't like it, don't give it your money. That's about as good as I can do right now.
What's the end game of this though with the character? Like this isn't gonna get new fans on board, and it's not gonna change the minds of people who aren't already thinking that way. People aren't gonna go, well, my hero James Bond, he worries about diversity, and so will I. No one's gonna say that. They're gonna go, what is this? And either close the book or finish it and go, I didn't really like the Charlie Higson one. I'll wait till somebody else writes another one. So it's like, if you can give me like a positive reason for any of this dumb entertainment, then I'd listen to you because we have to have the dialogue. But in reality, no, you're wrong. No good ever comes from this shit. And now we're just going to be stuck with a really, really laughably embarrassing James Bond novel. So, I want to know what they can do next with the character. I wonder how much shittier it can get. I mean, the last one they killed him.
Don't put that out there because it can get a lot shittier.
Really?
Hold my beer.
Well,
Yeah.
man. I mean, look at Charlie Daniels Winston shit with that. With that thing. And I hope it doesn't happen, but it's just like, I get it. Like you want the world to be a better place, but damn, like you got to be good at what you do. Like this isn't it. This isn't it. Like I don't even know how to process that. Like you can't convince people by throwing a bunch of shit at them and being like, "Yep, you're gonna eventually agree with me." That's not how this works.
This is I am Starfire level projection. That's what this is. That's what this is.
Right.
I mean,
Right.
it is. You look at this. You can tell this is stuff that this writer believes in. So he's putting it into the character. I mean, this is not James Bond. I'm a novice level Bond fan at best, and I know that. I mean, this, yeah, it is. This is not even, this is not even good parody. This is like modern day parody of, anything.
Yeah, man. It's
Which is
full
a
of
parody of
garbage.
reality.
That's it. We live in the absolute worst, stupidest timeline. We really do. Like when they fired up the collider and all that stuff went wrong. This is where we are. This is where we are.
Multiverses suck. Can we go back to 1999 where things were normal?
Exactly. I
I'm
will
okay
take
with
that.
I'm okay with that.
We don't have Biff who's corrupt and powerful and married to your mother. Nope.
Billy, your mother's up. Never mind. Drink your juice, Billy.
So, I can't believe they did this to another man. If it ain't Spider-Man, it's James Bond. Like I think they all just hate me. It's like fuck that guy. He's too much of a fan.
Yeah, they really just hate like the masculine man character who's like the do-gooder. Like that's why they keep fucking with like Superman and Captain America and James Bond, all these guys. Like, what's the fucking problem? Why?
It's by design. It's cultural Marxism. It's deconstruction of everything that you love, everything you hold dear, because then what do you have left? What do you have left to hold on to? You know what I mean? That's what it is.
I mean,
That's why
it's not paper planes about the shit. It's them. They think this sells. I would never get that far down the rabbit hole. But it's that mentality of, well, this is what the people want. This is what Twitter says. This is what the internet says. People care about these things. So we're going to have a very ham-fisted marker of, hey, you care about that? Come buy this. and it's written by people who have rocks in their brains. Like it's just like I get it, but it's just this weird, and for some reason, James Bond is one of the heavy franchises targeted with this shit. Like, yep, like he's a dude, he drinks, he fucks, he fights, he kills, but we want him to be this new thing because that's what the internet wants. And it's just weird. It's just so weird.
It's not isolated though. That's the thing, Deanna. And that's why I went down that rabbit hole, was because it's not just James Bond. It's Star Wars, it's Marvel, it's He-Man, it's G.I. Joe, it's everything. It's all the big stuff. And then even the minor stuff now, even the minor level entertainment we're getting has this kind of stuff in it. And it's done that way. I if it was just a couple of the franchises, I'd be like, okay, but it's damn near everything. And on top of the characters, it's not just the characters, it's the masculinity that they want to tear down and create these weak, ineffectual, I hate it, but beta type characters. And that's deconstructionism. And that is one of the tenets of Marxism, is the deconstruction, because that leads.
But that's where it gets silly. Like, you're bringing up Marxism. It ain't like that is capitalism. They think this sells. It's not. They're not trying.
But they got to know it. It is. It is though, because the deconstruction is hand in hand with that. Because look at it. Why else they don't? The Twitter audience doesn't spend money. That's that modern audience everybody's always talking about that doesn't exist. We all know they don't spend money. They'll retweet it and they'll bitch about things on Twitter because that's free. That doesn't cost them a red cent. But when it comes down to, okay, buy the book, well, it's just like Riri Williams and America Chavez and what's the other one there? Any of these, like Captain Marvel, how many times her book been rebooted? Nobody buys it. They're making this for the audience on Twitter that doesn't spend money, when the people like us will open our wallets if you give us something good, but they're just consistently pouring out garbage. And that's what I said. It's by design. I mean, Hollywood is trash as it is.
Right.
All the messaging has been
the implication that it's like this is the design to make money, and that's where the bus goes off the rail. The designers, they think this makes. They're not doing it to like, oh man, like we want to fucking like. They think people are gonna buy this shit. And I'm not saying. Listen, obviously, it failing is the issue, right? But like, they think that you're giving them way too much fucking credit. They think that people are gonna, oh man, fuck, let me fucking go get my sister and my wife, and we're gonna go over and watch this shit. Like, it's not like some deep sea thing. They're just dumb. They're just dumb. They think these people can. Obviously, we can say it, but and even and that it's that because when other shit comes out. When they're losing millions of dollars, it's not doing it for the goodness out of their fucking heart. They're doing it because they're not doing their jobs well, effectively. The Riri Williams thing isn't because they're trying to fucking, emasculate.
No, it's just
because they think that chicks are going to go and buy that comic book.
But then they're taking,
or they think that the dad's going to buy it for their daughter to try to get her in comics with him.
They're losing, but then they lose their built-in audience when they do that. That's the thing that kills is when you have a character like Iron Man, you replace him. It's like you can add, making a new character. You've made a new character. It's derivative, but let him stand alone. Don't make him stand on the back of something you built and then push that audience aside. You have to keep playing to your built-in audience, but then you can create side thing. It just the strategy they use it's bewildering at times. Like I heard you bring up Charlie's Angels earlier with Elizabeth Banks. Yeah, that whole it's not made for, because I was there opening night. I lost a bet to Groove. I had to go see it. Nick knows, he was there when the bet was made. And I had to go see it, and I was texting these guys the whole night going like, why? There's 5 people in the theater opening night. 3 of them were men, 2 women. That was it. And it's like, it's not made for men. And then, well, men didn't see it, so it failed. It's your fault. It's like, well, you can't do that. That's it. That's not, that doesn't work this way. That doesn't work this way.
No. And it, like you said, it happens too often. I fall on the side of like, not between both of you guys completely, because I understand that they do stuff like this for money. But it's like, it's all the established stuff too. It's not like they can make something new and go and put these views and ideals into it. Create like a new action hero who thinks like this. It probably won't work because John Wick is the most recent new action hero, I'd say, and he's very much like he's just that badass dude. And you know what?
Yes.
He's a badass dude for the 2010s and the 2020s, just like McClane was a badass dude for the 90s and the late 80s. And it's just an evolution of a type. With all evolves from a John Wayne or a Humphrey Bogart or Cary Grant, one of these dudes of their generation. But the dudes of the generation that have evolved into today's stuff aren't into what this version of James Bond's trying to promote. It's like this is some kind of like pie in the sky dream from people who are, turned down from dates in college or something. Like this is the weirdest, most bizarre shift to like what they think people want or what they think guys should be. It's bullshit. Nobody should be like that. People should be who they want to be. Be yourselves, folks. That's the message of every episode. But nobody craves or has these thoughts or craves this type of justice like this fictionalized version of James Bond. You know what Ian Fleming wrote about James Bond thinking about? Oh, maybe I'll get married, or maybe I'll drink some pink champagne, or this or random shit. Like, James Bond's not the kind of guy that goes, the cultural diversity of this room is alarming. This could be off. Like, he's using the cultural whatever as, like, modern spider sense. It's like, uh-oh, my diversity sense is going off. Something's off.
Right.
They're all bad guys because they're all
like
white.
That.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
It was have conversations in the bars like that. Like, oh damn, man, you and me came to this bar. Damn, man, like we could use some more cultural diversity in this bitch. Like, no one thinks like that off rip, like we've had multiple conversations. If a context comes up in a conversation, yeah, man, that's kind of fucked up, man. There's a lot of that's kind of crazy, that shit was crazy. But like off rip, oh man, I am gonna save the world. Damn. The first thing I notice is there are not a lot of brothers in this room. Like, no, that's what? What the fuck are you talking about?
there aren't a lot of brothers and there aren't a lot of sisters in this room either.
This
is terrifying.
No, I know he's evil.
Wait. Now that I think about it, there's not wheelchair access to this building. What the fuck?
Yeah, he's a real piece of shit. I didn't see a wheelchair ramp on the way in here. Damn.
I need to speak to the manager right now.
He must
was there
be
any
stopped.
braille?
Like,
was there
Double
braille on the
Karen.
walls for the blind?
Yeah, why are there braille on the menus and big pictures for people with ADHD and dyslexia? What the fuck?
I know how he's evil. There's no braille versions of these menus. This son of a bitch. Like, what? That's weird.
Yeah, did that.
And also underneath every TV in the bar, there's not anybody with sign language. Like, what the fuck?
Why is there not a random person standing to the side doing sign language so we all know what he's saying? God, this guy must be stopped.
Yeah.
Is there a warning for the strobes when the evil band starts playing later on? We don't want anybody.
Right.
We don't want anybody to have a seizure.
Right.
Is it an evil band?
Talk
All
about.
I wanted was a band of sharks with freaking lasers on their heads. Is that too much to ask?
Oh god. Jeez. This makes me just want to get the old James Bond movies in 4K. That's all it really does. That's all it really does. Because those have to be preserved.
Yep.
By physical
Especially
media.
since the fact the last movie was, oh man, like his baby mama lied to him twice. One of which was before he died. Let's get more of that in literature form. I don't think so.
I feel bad because Rami Malek was the bad guy in that. He's a perfect Bond bad guy, and they gave him the shittiest one.
And they wasted him.
Yeah,
well, and to that point, right? Like that's one reason why you don't do that, because you end up wasting valuable resources. Like, don't get me wrong, man. Like, I'm all about, hey, let's have a different I guess, perspective on Bond. I'm okay with that. But when your whole perspective is, hey, they were married and she lied to him, and him being mad at her is bad. And then she had a kid, and hey, it's probably his kid, and she's gonna lie to him again. That's not bad. Oh, now he's dead. Like, what the fuck are we doing here, guys? What the fuck are we doing here? Rami Malek was in this movie. What was he doing? Oh, he was his face was fucked up, and Spectre killed. I mean, he got revenge. Oh, but he wants to create a virus to kill random people, but only only Bond's girlfriend and the kid. But yeah, I know that he has a virus that can kill any, but he doesn't want to. But he wants to. No, hear me out, because it's Rami Malek, and like he's a genius, but like he has this thing against Bond, even though they didn't know each other. No, that's not the point. The point is, like, what the fuck are we doing? That's why you don't do that, because it's dumb. It is dumb. I got into an argument with a fucking chick about the Bond move, about No Time to Die, and the reason she had, hey, just explain to me what was Rami Malek's character supposed to do, and she couldn't, because it was dumb. That's why you don't try to do topical. A topical conversation is the course of the whole character, because you can't explain it fucking a year later to people who want to watch the movie. They're like, oh, that's stupid, I'm not going to watch it. That's dumb.
Yeah, this is why Mission Impossible is winning against James Bond, because they've never gotten topical, and they've all been fun movies. So I don't know, man.
Yeah, man, that's why.
I'm disappointed. I mean, I've been disappointed in James Bond since Daniel Craig was James Bond, but this is like,
dude, the best thing about the Daniel Craig James Bond movies were the scenes of him and Felix Leiter every fucking time. I will call those out every goddamn time. Those felt real. Those felt genuine. Those felt like two friends getting together after being apart for like 3 or 4 years and having a drink. That's what it felt like every time. And those were the best parts of the movie.
I agree. I loved it. I was so pissed when he died. I was like, God damn it.
Me too, man. No, that was really fucking sad. I kind of welled up a little bit when he died. I was like, God damn it. This is the most stable, only relationship this man has ever had in these movies. And it's gone now.
Yeah. Like, it's just, and that's why, don't get me wrong, I still hate I will never, ever give up the fact that No Time to Die is still a dumb fucking name. But, like, you have, this is supposed to be your climax to this portion of the series. And again, like, I get the intrigue of, okay, Bond's in love again. You touched on the relationship that he had with Felix. That should have been just the whole movie.
I agree. 100% agree.
Like, what? Like you have Rami Malek and you have Jeffrey Wright, and that can be the thing. Like, don't get me wrong. People who bitch about Daniel Craig too much, like, they're kind of being babies about it. I get it, but you're kind of being babies about it. Like, but that, say what you want about Quantum of Solace, but when him and Green look at each other, like, that movie overall isn't great, but it still had that bomb moment of, here's the villain of this movie. They do not like each other, and dare we say they hate each other, and he is the villain. And in No Time to Die, you could have just.
He was a weak villain, though, man. That guy was a pussy.
He kills Felix. I would watch that shit. What the fuck are we doing?
Wait,
what are we doing?
Rami Malek didn't kill Felix.
No, but he had, the other agent was one of his guys, and he killed Felix in the submarine, and it's like, but come on, brother, I had a brother. If that's the only thing, fuck the wife, fuck the kid, that was bullshit. But if that was the only close to Bond death and No Time to Die, the second half of the movie writes itself. But no, you got to fucking cloud it up where it's his wife, former wife, who's like, her family got killed, but she had the kid. But like, what are we doing? You had the Felix thing. That movie would be one of the best Bond movies. He kills his brother from another mother. We say that shit to each other all the time, but no, we have to put in the wife thing, and it's just. That's what pissed me off about that the most, was you wrote the story already, but you had to bring in this other bullshit. It's just so dumb. And the book is the same way. He can't just have some crazy, racist dude. It's got to be, oh, well, Bond walks in the room and like, oh, man, there's not a lot of Polish people in here, That's kind of fucked up. I'm not gonna save the world, but like, yeah, man, he's not just racist. He's like really racist, bro. Diversity is his weakness. Like, come on, guys. What are we doing? What are we doing? This isn't cool. Name one cool villain that's like, oh fuck, man, he's an asshole, but he's not pro-epileptic. That's why I really hate him. Like, what the fuck are we talking about?
Now, I got a question for you guys. We're getting so topical with our villains, and these movies are basically pacing themselves out of being classics, meaning nobody watches a movie and goes, man, Occupy Wall Street, I want to go relive that, or, oh man, I want to relive the anthrax scare of 2002. Like, nobody goes through these, like, weird phases where they want to remember oddly specific, fucked up things, or, oh, the election, or, oh, this, or, oh, January that. It's like, no, we want these good things, but these writers in Hollywood, soon to be computers, sadly, but these writers in Hollywood, they want to, like, teach us something and how important and how smart they are. And it's like, guys, when it comes time to watch your movies in 5 years, which is what we're supposed to do, that's why home video exists, what the hell? Does anybody go back and want to watch... Say what?
Well, you're only half wrong. So
I wasn't even done yet.
Oh, well, continue.
Well, I would say, though, before I was so rudely interrupted by Mr. Quantum of Solace fan 627 on AOL over there. That's how I dish you, Dion. You still use an AOL chat room. Fuck you, man.
He's lying. He's lying.
It's is it Yahoo's still current? What's like a really shitty old one that nobody uses anymore? I don't know.
Email or chat? Like, because I think people still use Hotmail.
Oh, there you go. Hotmail's still an old one.
So anyway, back to your Hotmail bullshit. Oh, what to say though is they nobody goes back to watch these films. Everybody likes the classic stuff. It's not that we want the same stories; it's we want universal themes. Universal themes are what make movies great, and that's what ties people together and brings people together. Everyone in this sphere here, we all love movies and entertainment. There is that glue that's holding us together because the universal themes of those pictures resonate in each and every one of us. We may not look the same, have the same job, same beliefs, any of that stuff. We may be completely disparate people, but we all have those connections to the universal themes. Therefore, we're all together for one specific reason. Movies like this, super tailored content that doesn't appeal to anyone outside of a small slice of life, those are the types of things that really make entertainment cold and off-putting and really ruin the dynamic of what it's for. It's all about getting a big group of people into a theater to have a shared experience and really enjoy something. These are just... Well, I don't want to break it down in so simple forms as these are dumb, but what these are useless contributions that create no value in our modern entertainment. That's why people look elsewhere to other countries all the time. Watch Japanese stuff. Watch this from that country. Read those countries' comic books. Art's not dead. It's dead in America. And like you say, Dion, just because I think people are going to buy this shit, it's like Pete says, they just put this crap in there to put this in there. It's all dumb. And it's, honestly, in 5 years, no one's going to value any of this stuff.
Well, and the only reason I say you're half wrong is because everything you said is correct. The only part that's wrong is people do want topical stuff, but it has to be done right.
In the right medium, but you can't have let's say you have a topical Mission Impossible movie, but like it takes 2 years to come out. So by the time you've written the movie, made it, and shot it, and everything's done with it, it's no longer topical. It's a passé topic. Now, on television, or a mini-series, excuse me, or something with allegory, I do agree with that statement. But like when you have a big budget film, a AAA video game release, or anything that costs that amount of money to produce, it has to be for everybody and just really stand the test of time. And even, dare I say, be worthy to own on home video. Because everybody gets into a trend. Everybody has a thing they like for the moment. But these movies need to be like that important to people that'll make them keep watching them and then go back for the other releases and make these things profitable. It's just Hollywood hastening their own demise by doing this.
Well, and again, that's not wrong, but things become dated when the topical subject is ham-fisted. But even the classics, we talk about Thunderball. I fucking love them. That's a classic James Bond movie. The topic was the Cold War,
every
Even
James
with-
Bond movie though is it really a commentary on the Cold War or just what it's like to live in a fictionalized version of it?
I didn't say commentary. It's topical, not commentary. That's the difference. When you're trying to be a commentary, when you're trying to make it too ham-fisted, that's when it stops being genuine. You can have topical subjects. I mean, hell, from Russia with Love, the Soviets make an assassin specifically to go after James Bond. You know, which again, back in that
Is
day,
that actually is that
Go ahead.
actually topical, or is that just like the world? Their world they've been living in for 20 years, and it's just the modern because it's like what the Cold War starts post World War II, James Bond starts 62, so within almost 2 decades worth. Like, is that a topical thing to make something?
Yeah, it's
of
topical
its time?
without being overly commentary. Rambo. The topic at the time was us coming out of Vietnam. In the commentary on veterans and how they're being treated. It's topical without being so goddamn heavy-handed.
I agree with the Rambo point, but I don't agree with the Bond because I don't think Bond movies are topical until you get to ones like The Living Daylights where they talk about AIDS and that kind of stuff. Can you call like a Cold War thriller topical? Because they still make Cold War thrillers. It's almost like a genre unto
The
itself.
topic of the time affected what's happening in the movie. I think you could say it's bare bones topical, but I think it still counts, especially when it's topical without being the entire crux of the movie.
I guess
So,
I always
yeah,
think that topical is like a specific event or thing and not like a large period of time. Because it's like, by that
That's why.
count, then every movie could be considered topical if it just
There you
takes
go.
place of its time. So like, Little Rascals 93 could be considered topical because it's of a 1993 world. But like, I'm with you on Rambo and a commentary on, the post-Vietnam. I mean, what were you, 6 or 7, 5 years after people were coming back? Was it 81 in his First Blood?
No, 79, right?
I think it's
Rocky
79.
2's 79, I thought.
No, Rocky.
Anyway, I'll look it
Rocky
up.
2 is 79, because Rocky 1 is 77, and then Rambo 2 is 80.
First Blood is a 1982 film.
Yeah, First Blood's 82.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, topical doesn't have to be bad, but yeah, if you're bringing in the topic of the time, the subject of the time, without fucking overloading your movie, yeah, I'd say that definitely counts as topical. Especially when you use specific phrases, Soviets, Russia, what have you. I mean, obviously James Bond is a great example of doing it the right way, where it's like Soviets, but it's a separate sect of Spectre, right? Like, yeah, he's a Russian trained asset, but it's a Spectre asset. You have that still topical, that subject matter that's on the minds of everybody watching the movie without it being the entire crux of the whole damn movie. And while it counts, there's definitely a difference between topical and social commentary. And social, especially now, social commentary is, even if you want to stick with Bond, the difference between classic Bond, topical, and current Bond social commentary, where it's, hey, yes, the Soviets are a subject matter. It's built off of that, but it's not a social commentary on what a man should be like in this situation with a fucking daughter out of wedlock. Like that's where it becomes social commentary. That's where the topical subject matter, it don't fit with the rest of the fucking film. And kind of going back to your earlier point, that's one reason probably why Bond is the target, right? It's this multi-generational topical subject matter where, hey, instead of using it as entertainment, topical entertainment, we're going to make it topical commentary. And that's where you lose the shit, especially in No Time to Die, where it's, oh man, we gotta go into, instead of focusing on, hey, there's this, people have concerns of shadow governments, but we're gonna make it instead of sticking with that, we're gonna go to, him and fatherhood. Like, what the fuck? That's two separate fucking things. That you shouldn't use that topic to be a commentary on what a man does, and that's where that shit falls apart. You can be topical. You can use the time period as a backdrop. But when you start trying to make commentary out of it, that's when shit goes off the rails.
Nick, how do you
said
feel?
Earlier that
Oh, Pete, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say that dates the entertainment, like to the point Dion was making. When you put too much of it into the story, you know, you can interweave little pieces of it throughout. Exactly, but yeah, you don't go too heavy-handed and put it in one time, you know, in a context where people are gonna pinpoint. You know, you want people to watch your media down the line. You know, 5, 10, 20 years down the line. You want it to be timeless in that respect. So that's the only add-on I had to what Dion was saying. I'm sorry to interrupt. Go ahead, Nick.
Don't apologize, man.
No, you're fine. You're fine. Does anybody know in the last 100 years what decade had the greatest movies of all time?
The
Anybody?
80s.
The 80s.
You're wrong.
There's
You're
the
wrong.
60s.
Okay, according to IMDb, 100 top 100 greatest movies of all time happened. The majority of them were in the 1950s. There were 20 of them. The 60s there were 15. In the 70s there were like 19. In the 80s there were 6. In 1990 there were 15. In the 2000s there were like 2, and there's not been any more on that list after that.
It's an interesting metric. I don't know if I would say that the 80s only had 6 of the greatest movies of all time.
Right.
Well,
I want to know more about this list.
Yeah, once again, this is IMDb's list, and also AFI, American Film Institute. So I think that's kind of an important metric because, you know, 80s had, according to them, 6, and the 90s had 15, and then we go into the 2000s, like around 2000, from 2000 to 2010, we only have, looks like 2. That's, I think, a problem. We don't have anything worth watching anymore that our fucking attention span is just too small or something. It's just terrible. I mean, I don't know.
No, continue. I'm with you 100%.
It's all kind of gone to shit. I mean, I kind of blame the Platinum Dunes buying up of all these like horror things that you know pre Blumhouse that they did in like what I want to say 06 like 2011, some shit like that. They did Prom Night, they did Texas Chainsaw Massacre, they did a lot of this stuff. And it was all very
03.
I'm sorry. Oh yeah. Wow, I didn't realize it was that bad. But you know, we have those things because they were quick cash grabs. Horror has been the bastard child of fucking Hollywood for decades. I swear to God. They use it to make money. They use it to, you know, to do remakes and things like that, just so they can make more fucking money. They don't care about the story or anything like that. It's fucking terrible. I mean, look at the 3 Halloween movies we've had. We're having Saw fucking 10 now. I mean, come on, this is insane. They need to come out with better fucking stuff. And I mean, they keep doing this because it's safe and the IP is built in. I mean, that's why Disney bought Star Wars, and they've been trying to milk that dead cow for fucking ever. But it's just one of those things where it's like, are they just not smart enough? Are they detached from society this much and their public this much that they only go to some marketing team telling them, oh yeah, do this, make this move, and this will yield you more money. And then when it does it, they still double down. All of this doesn't smell right to me, and it all seems like bullshit. It really does. I don't like it, and it's not good. The fact that we're relying on Hollywood for entertainment nowadays, I think, is dumb. I'm not a fan of these, you know, century-old companies and people like this doing stuff for this long. Like they should have died out, you know, a little while ago, and something else should have come up in its place or something. This is not good. We need to something needs to be done about this.
I believe things are happening that are being done about it in the way as it's turning off people from consuming from these traditional media corporations. Your Warner Brothers, your Disney, any of these places. It's like people have a finite amount of tolerance for anything. And after they've been turned off, like we'll use Star Wars for an example, after sitting through the sequel trilogy and a couple bad seasons of this and that, people aren't showing up for Ahsoka. It's got the lowest numbers in terms of opening viewership. And I think that's a response to Hollywood not taking risks or not doing their stuff or putting things out there that people don't want. They have focus groups, like you said. They have people out there that are going to know these things better than, they have the data. They have the analytics. Why not use that data and go with the obvious thing? Big, like I always say, the universal stuff that brings us together works. Because dudes on the street going, oh my God, you saw Independence Day. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. And you talk for 5 minutes about your shit. Like, they're just creating stuff that makes people, like, go on Twitter and bitch. And then people just turn themselves off from all that because they want to avoid the negativity. Life's too short and expensive to deal with this crap.
Yeah, I know. I think a couple weeks ago, I talked about A24's movie Talk to Me. And that the budget for that, according to Google, I'm sure it's like more than what's posted here, is $4.5 million. Domestically, so far, it's made $44 million.
It's a nice return on investment.
Yeah. How can A24 and Blumhouse and these guys do this, and the other big studios can't? Like, I'm awestruck as like the stupidity of this whole problem. Like, it's really fucking simple.
Well, hey man, they think commentary is going to turn into $billion movies.
When has it ever?
It's exactly, and that's what's so crazy about it, right? That's what's so crazy about it is, you put things in movies with the assumption that, yeah, man, we're gonna make $1 billion when we put this shit in a superhero movie and just churn them out, and at the same time, again, it's that loss of an ability to be topical and not be a commentary. And horror is very hard to do that with. It's very hard to be heavy-handed with a subject matter that requires shit to be happening. And yeah, man. I mean, that's a very interesting list to bring up, man. I think that's shit. I mean, if you're to put in a sports perspective, that's the third down conversion rate of movies, right? Like, how many of these type do we have in this generation, man? That's pretty fucking good there, Nick. You a world-class motherfucker. I like that.
That's what I do, man. That's what I do. Yeah, apparently some people are banned in the comments. Like, I was reading a list. Don't get mad at me. I was reading a list, okay? I looked at the data and I read it. Don't kill the messenger, right? I'm not Jesus.
God damn. Is there anything else you guys want to say about this James Bond topic? I think we exhausted it, but
I think we
free Bond.
Free Bond. You're not kidding. You're not kidding.
One
Seriously,
day,
man. That's really what it juggles down to. Free Bond, shit.
One of our last topics, I feel like we already covered the CM Punk part, so, go back and listen to the beginning of that, folks, if you're curious about it. But our final topic, that's one of the ones that's in the title card, is the Rotten Tomatoes, we're calling it the Rotten Tomatoes Payola scandal, ironically. But Rotten Tomatoes is under fire after a PR firm's scheme to pay critics for positive reviews has been uncovered. Now, I know, right? It's like a fucking Scooby-Doo episode.
Rotten Tomatoes got caught, bitch!
Yes. Now, we've all known for a while that the way Rotten Tomatoes does business has been a bit fishy. We all know that movie scores get changed when fans aren't happy about it, and they're worried that the fan outrage is going to kill the box office. And because it does, audiences have been conditioned to look at Rotten Tomatoes as an authority on if a movie is good. And if that number is high enough, they will go see it. And if it is not, they will not go see it. That's been proven recently with Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. That massively expensive flop first debuted at the Cannes Film Festival, and the critic score was a very low 30s for a while. I think at one point it was at 13 or something crazy, and then it jumped right back up, and now it's at a respectable number. But beyond that movie failed, but that's one of the reasons people believe that Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny underperformed. And so we've had other films like The Last Jedi that gets accused of review bombing, or Captain Marvel, where they say sexist fans are going to hurt the film so they change it. But Rotten Tomatoes has always been very quick to bend over for these companies, these movie studios, if they need to make a couple bucks. So, an in-depth report published earlier today by Vulture uncovered a scheme from a PR firm called Bunker 15 to goose reviews for a film starring Daisy Ridley. After the initial reviews came in, resulting in disappointing 46% score on Rotten Tomatoes, a movie, that's just an explanation we don't need because we know how Rotten Tomatoes works, Vulture report that as Bunker 15 started paying lower-tier critics on the website to post positive reviews for $50 a pop, essentially trying to manipulate the system. The firm also lobbied one critic to change their negative reviews to positive. It turns out the scheme worked, and the money followed. Ophelia jumped up 62%, scoring the coveted fresh rating on Rotten Tomatoes, and the next month IFC Films acquired it and distributed it. So that's the story so far. Now, we've all had our opinions about Rotten Tomatoes and how they operate, but Pete, you're our guest. What did you think of this story when you first heard it?
Felt vindicated. It's kind of funny because the first minute and 48 seconds of my video I did on this today are basically taking shots at all the review bombing accusations and all that, and it's like, yeah, well, they've been paying people to publish reviews. They've been slipping them a 50 or slipping them a C note here and there to, hey, why don't you juice this review up a little bit? We'd like it if it's like the mob. We'd like it if you did this. We're not telling you to do it, but we'd like it if this happened. I thought it was hilarious, especially after they changed their entire platform during the lead up to the Captain Marvel release with the want to see feature, because of the review bombing. Yeah, this is it's like we should all feel vindicated now, because we've been saying this for years and years and years that Rotten Tomatoes was garbage. They moved the goalposts, and here it is. Proof's in the pudding. Red-handed.
Dion, well, what are your thoughts?
In this case, I can't help but mirror what my boy E-Tep is saying. It is one of those moments where not only are you vindicated in, kind of, I guess, I'm trying to word it in a way. Like, all the years of watching movies didn't go to waste. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And I can't help but feel vindicated, like, okay, we're not crazy, right? Like, we're not, the goalposts were moved and we all saw it, and then motherfuckers like Vox and Esquire and
Forbes.
What was that other goofy ass website that was bitching about the Sam Raimi Spider-Man suit in a 2018 Spider-Man game? Not comic book. You know what I'm talking about.
Screen
like
Rant.
They were. Thank you, fucking Screen Rant. There was this constant gaslighting, right? Like, you guys don't know what you're talking about. They've always done it. That's what they said. When the new feature came out, this just makes it easier to do it when we change to what to watch feature or want to watch feature. So it definitely is very vindicating as a movie, as a culture fan, right? At the same time, this goes back to what we were saying earlier, y'all. The internet is undefeated. You have, as much as places like Rotten Tomatoes want to point their thumb at the Hollywood elite, they do the exact same shit. And to all of those people, especially those that were riding and dying for Captain Marvel and Star Wars, you think this was just the first time, huh, bitch? Okay, well, okay. Now we know. And you're an asshole. So I'm with E-Tep on this one. It's pretty vindicating to be like, all right, well, they're just as bad.
Nick, as a filmmaker, how do you feel about this?
I feel like you guys, man. I feel vindicated that it was just a bunch of gaslighting, but also it's one of those things where it's like anybody who kept calling us, conspiracy theorists, things like that. It's like, why wouldn't these Hollywood elites rig the system? If you have the means and the money and the motivation, why the fuck would you not rig the system in your favor? You think they're going to play fair? You think that they're going to, be like, this movie and this movie are up this weekend. We'll see what happens. Oh, hopefully we do good. Fuck no. Are you kidding me? They're going to use every trick they can in the book as legally as they can to fuck over every other movie that weekend and make as much money as they can swim in their fucking tub to make sure that they can, like buy the newest yacht or buy another gold-plated toilet seat or whatever the fuck they want to do. Anybody who thinks Hollywood's this like nice place and people work, no, go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. Okay?
And they will use controversy.
This is a goddamn business. And dollars are at stake.
Mm-hmm.
And whoever has the most money at the end wins. That's how it fucking works. Okay?
Yep.
And that's how it's been working. And anybody who has people who will say, "Oh, my favorite studio is this and the other." You're a moron. I'm sorry, you really are. There are some studios that do some nice things here and there and do make good movies, this and that. But like, don't fucking rep your favorite studio or be like, "Oh, this one's good, this one's that." I mean, like I was saying, A24 before was making money. They know how to make money. They've made a few good movies, but before that, they were making art house bullshit. Okay. Nobody watched that.
Tell them, Nick.
And they finally got their heads out of their asses and were like, well, we can do this better. We can do this way better. And they did, and they're doing it. They're the ones who even crossed the picket line somehow, and they're actually able to go back in production because they're thinking about the money in the end. That's what it is. It's not because they care about the fucking writers. They don't want their production to stop in their movies. Okay? I'm sure they have it planned out a certain way. That and that's how it fucking works. The other big companies were like, oh, we can kind of not make things for a while. We'll see what happens with them. I think they're gonna fuck themselves. They're really gonna fuck themselves because if this goes past a certain point, if this goes, let's say if this goes to the end of the year, there's gonna be a portion of time where like theaters may go to business because there's not gonna be any movies, or we might get a cool resurgence of like old movies coming back to the theaters. That might happen just to kind of keep people coming in. Because this is all a fucking business. I'm sorry. Anybody who loves Disney and think it's a warm fuzzy, no, they could give two shits about you. They're going to charge you $8 a goddamn water in the park. They're going to charge you, $15 for 6 chicken nuggets because they fucking can. Okay. It's all a fucking business.
Bingo. I don't have anything to add to that besides bingo. Fuck it. Let's see what the audience is saying about this one. I apologize again for not having the most deep response, but I feel like everything I've had, I feel vindicated as well. So, I guess the Lions scored a touchdown, Dion, so I know you didn't miss that. That's in the chat.
Yep.
4th down, 3rd.
Yeah, well, I guess we don't have anything else really to add about the Rotten Tomatoes stuff because they're not going to change. What's going to happen is they're going to continue to operate the same way they do, restrict negative opinions, keep pushing the positive, make these movies appear to be the best thing ever.
If you're a frequent visitor of Rotten Tomatoes website, don't visit it. That's all I can say. I mean, there's not really anything you can do about it.
I turned off my ad blocker for their site, and then it didn't work anymore, so I just stopped using it.
Yeah, I mean that's the only thing I can say to do. I mean, because any sort of click, any sort of activity on the site is going to get them paid. So I mean, that's about it. I mean, unless you can think of unless people want to start using Letterboxd or something. If that's a viable alternative. But I mean, even then, what if that gets too big and then that becomes corrupt? Then what? Then we have to go to another thing. Like it just keeps fucking going. So I don't know.
We'll create a platform, Nick.
Better yet, just trust us and trust your friends. Just go with that. Okay, go with that.
Yeah. All right. So, folks in the chat, let's check in on you guys in just a moment. Let's look at our show notes one last time. Oh yeah, we have a fan letter to read tonight on air. I'm not going to read it just yet, but Dion, it's about you fighting the Dark Lord of the Sith.
Oh, things good about me.
There you go. Well, then you're going to love this fan mail. Folks, if you want to send us fan mail and have it read on the air, just send it to worldclassbs@mail.com. The best mail.
.com.
And in the tagline or the byline, just say, hey, read this on air. And if it's cool, we'll read it on air. And if it's not, we'll tell you thank you for sending a letter anyway. So, our friend Asato Fortune, who's a channel member for 6 months, thank you, Asato Fortune, for all your support. We appreciate you here. He says, Ahsoka these nuts. Hi, fellas. Star Wars is dead as CM Punk's wrestling career. Dead Pokemon, please. Lo Mein rocks. Should I make a... Well, the low main button would be a really long button, but
It would. It would. Well, I mean, you can just pull the thing from Lost Boys.
oh yeah, I could pull that.
Yeah.
I should have put that clip in the video I made. Folks, follow us on all of our social media platforms because we turned our Dion low main bukkake clip into something pretty fun.
Yeah. I will post the video of us. And I'll give you the link for it as well. We tested out. I shouldn't say we tested. We tried some alcohol from Steve Lemmy from Broken Lizard called Rhino Dart at the convention. I cut it together. I have the social media cut that I'm going to post tomorrow, and I'll give Jeff the full version as well, so he can post it to YouTube and stuff.
Folks, you're going to get to see some fun new WCBS content. I'm still working on that office here and a couple other things, and then you'll be seeing a lot more of us. So, Santo Fortune, thank you for that. Here's your request.
Who's that Pokemon? It's
Dead.
Every time for you two?
Yep.
So Georgian, thank you very much. He says, SAG video game voice actors should strike. Gamers, cool. We can go through to our old game back catalog and watch the industry burn and turn. Benefit.
Yeah, I heard about that recently as well. They're trying to get everybody to strike, and I think it's hilarious. I mean, keep doing it. I don't fucking care. I've got physical media and I've got things backed up on my hard drive. It doesn't hurt me at all.
Yep.
Yeah. So. Yeah, I mean the people who live and die by streaming are gonna be real pissed off, but that's not my problem.
I'm always on the side of the artist. You know, they deserve to get paid what they get paid, or to get paid for their services. Studios, you got to stop screwing people over. So Georgian, thank you very much. Lawrence Charlton, thank you for becoming a new channel member. Greatly appreciate that. I hope you have a good time here. So Georgian says, so bounding into comics, we already read that one. We gave you the whole James Bond segment. TLJ Screwjob, thank you. He says, the man they couldn't queef. The day the queef came out. EQ, the extra queef terrestrial.
Oh my god. I mean, ET kind of does look like it. Well, never mind.
He looks like a turd.
Okay, sure.
So, TLJ Screwjob also says, if it bleeds, we could make it queef.
Oh god. Oh my god.
Escape from the Barbie Land says, you think 007 being woke is bad? There's an actual Barbenheimer movie in development. Look up Barbenheimer Joe Blow. It's the first result.
Yeah, I think the Asylum is doing that. I could be wrong, but I heard that they were doing it. But you know, it's the Asylum. I mean, I don't know. Don't go looking for quality from them. All right, they made 6 Sharknado movies, so.
Yeah, I wouldn't get too, especially with the Asylum. But yeah, any
Sharknado's a
goofy
treasure.
bullshit like that, yeah, I wouldn't too worked up just yet until we start hearing some. What was it? Sandra Bullock is Harriet Tubman level shit.
Oh, that'd be funny.
Waiting for Jesse Eisenberg as Malcolm X.
You laugh, but that movie would make dozens of dollars at the bank.
Yeah, I'm able to buy 3 fucking candy bars.
Or one Big John steak and onion sandwich, Dion. That'll be enough for me.
If it was with my boy, fuck yeah. I'll gladly spend my whole movie budget to buy a Big John steak and onion sandwich.
Man, I was disappointed. I took my wife to my wife never been to Halo Burger. I took her there last time we were down in Flint. She was like, "This isn't very good." I'm like, "How dare you? How dare you?"
Oh my god.
Now, this movie isn't from the Asylum. It's from Full Moon Productions.
Oh yeah, Full Moon. Okay, Full Moon. Yeah, once again, it's full.
That much better.
Yeah, Full Moon have made things like Puppet Masters and Subspecies and like like they were really big in the 80s and 90s. They're not quality either. They're like Asylum, but just have been around.
Didn't they make a bunch of the non-canon sequels? Didn't they do the technical? What was it? Terminator 2, but that was also released as fucking like the Shadow People or something like that, where they were getting a bunch of like Italian and foreign movies and releasing them in other markets as the sequel to these other big movies.
Yep. They were the ones who started doing the mockbusters, like the Asylum did. Yeah, so they started they started that trend.
Mm-hmm.
Well, at least we knew who to blame.
Yeah.
Oh, also, guys, here's the thing: if you want to talk about quality assurance in a film, the film is going to begin filming next month and is aiming for a Christmas 2023 release on Amazon Prime. Just for reference, folks, this article's from the 30th of August. It is September 7th.
That.
Yeah. I don't know, like why this is a big deal. Like it's just full moon. It's not like it's a giant thing. It's not a big deal.
I can't believe it's actually a thing though. 1 month production. It's going to be some high quality.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen some of that. Like when they get lazy, they get real fucking lazy, and they can just pump something out in a week. Like they can shoot something in a weekend and have it done by like in a month. Like they can do that.
Hollywood in a nutshell, man.
Yeah, jeez, it's fucking terrible. I've seen some of this shit, man. It's just god awful.
TLJ Screwjob says, people saying stuff like this new James Bond novel and Disney Star Wars is fan fiction are wrong. That would mean that the people in charge of these properties are fans, and they clearly aren't.
That's 100% true.
That's a good point, man.
Yeah.
That's a good fucking point,
Yeah,
especially James Bond.
Yeah, because if they were actually fans, they'd fucking care.
Mm-hmm.
TLJ Screwjob, thank you very much for your generous super chat. Albatross says, this new Bond book is basically the intern bad guy from She-Hulk.
Listen, you talk about another example of that very issue. She-Hulk is it to the T, man. You know, it's you know, don't get me wrong. You know, my boy, my brother from another mother, Nick. You know, he has a way with words, but the motherfucker ain't wrong. Like, you know, it's a systematic thing. You know, and She-Hulk's a perfect example, especially when you take into account what Nick said, and then you watch the final episode of She-Hulk. Like, that's like a fucking Twitter AI wrote the end of that shit. Like, yeah. Man, that's a perfect super chat, man. It is, 100% agree with that.
Albatross, thank you very much. Dion, I'm glad you took the plunge for She-Hulk for all of us. Now, when season 2 comes out, I'm sure you'll watch that on.
Okay, you don't have to put that bad mojo in my home, sir. You could say it and it could happen. You know, even though on a serious note, someone mentioned She-Hulk 2, and both the women in my life, my wife and my sister, were like, I don't know about that. So,
I love how the demographic they're
like, they were pissed at me for making us watch that shit every Thursday before the show. Like, I got some backlash, boys.
I love how Disney's trying to target that market, and that market is saying no, we don't want it.
Yep. It's almost as if women are people too. Huh? It's weird.
Whatever.
Yeah, what is a woman?
That's a joke. That's a joke. Don't come for me, goddammit.
Like I said, my brother got away with words.
Our friend, not that alt-right guy, thank you very much for your super chat. He says, Mike Myers should say that shit is too on nose. On His Majesty's Secret Queef or on his Queef's Secret Service.
God.
Now, if you're in the Secret Service of a Queef, like, what are your mission objectives?
Smell it.
Hey,
I don't
your thing, bro, I don't judge.
I don't want to be that Secret Service agent unless it's a Jim Wynorski Productions or something.
It's a Lloyd Kaufman.
There you go.
That's troll.
Guys, Full Moon Productions, they're going to have that be the sequel to Barbenheimer.
Oh my
so there you go.
Gosh.
Easy.
Queefenheimer?
Queefenheimer, that's the title of the night. Queefenheimer.
Queefenheimer.
I can't wait for Queefenheimer too. Attack of the Queefs.
Attack of the Queefs.
Then you got Queefenheimer 3, Revenge of the Queef. I mean, it's just
Big third down here, E-Tep.
I know, man. Wait. I must be behind because Detroit. I got 2 minutes to go. First and 10, 21-20 Detroit.
Okay, yeah, it's still 21-20, but you're about like a minute behind. So.
All right. Okay.
So if Dion cheers, you'll know what happened.
All right. I know. I've been staying quiet. I'm like I don't. I'm over here just on pins and needles, going like, oh God, don't let Mahomes complete that pass on 4th and 25.
I'm trying very hard not to. Is all I'm saying.
Oh my God!
If only Kendo were here right now, he'd be like, "Yeah, go Chiefs!"
Because I love that the Chiefs brought me in. Holy shit!
Well, Dion, while you're on the edge of your seat, let's read the next super chat. By the way, folks, we've had a lot of Stealing Solo orders come in. I don't know if it's from the stream or from the video today, but either way, thank you if you're listening. And if you haven't gotten a copy, go to stealingsolo.com right now. I'm going to send out the next shipment tomorrow, and we're getting down to the final couple of cases. So, yeah, grab yourself a copy. I'll do the sequel. TLJ Screwjob says, stuff like this James Bond book is exactly what Az was talking about in his viral Starfield video. You try to play a futuristic game about space exploration or read a James Bond book, but pronouns/BLM. Yeah, it takes me out of the experience, and I don't want a talking to. I don't want one from anyone. I don't want one from a parent, a Karen, a book. It's like, let me go my own way. Let me find my own way. And especially as a piece of entertainment that I spend my money on to consume, you owe me. Because I've given you my time, which translates to money, for your product. And I'm not saying you need to cater to my whims, but you should have a story that respects my intelligence. That's what I'm saying. Let's see. You're all morons. Backwards, it says, respect the hero. If you write this hero, don't try to change the hero. If you're the steward of this IP, times change, but the hero stays the same. This book is bullshit. I don't disagree at all. Especially if you're taking over an established IP. It's not your place to change it up to your vision. It's to take the pieces and play with them in the most appealing way to everybody. Like, oh, make Bond be relatable. Now, you could do certain things, like James Bond doesn't need to smoke or have his scar to be James Bond. You could, change certain things, but I'm with you. You don't change the character. You don't change the characteristics. You don't change his looks. You don't change anything. We like it for what it is. TLJ Screwjob, thank you very much for your super chat. He says, what do you guys think about Bob Iger versus Bob Chapek article that came out? How Iger wouldn't give Chapek the CEO office because it had a shower. I was sent that today on X, formerly known as Twitter.
I believe that. I believe that Iger's that fucking petty because he's the one who thinks he's untouchable and thinks he can go on TV and say some dumb shit and like nobody's gonna think twice about it. It's like the internet's undefeated and like it exists. I'm sorry you're old and you don't understand that.
Well, Bob Iger just was not a very good CEO.
And he's still not. There. I mean, it shows now that he's just trying to put out fires, and they're still like going. The ship's still going down, real slowly, but it's going down. So, yeah.
Go Lions!
Yes, sir.
Good for you, Dion. They finally beat the Chiefs.
Beat the.
Oh, they're gonna figure a way to fuck it up. So do not think that this.
Oh, I thought that was the game.
It is the game, yeah. I'm happy right now, but we'll see.
Yes. It's week 1. It's only week 1.
It's only week 1.
Well, they're undefeated. Congratulations. TLJ Screwjob, I'm going to look more into that article and see about doing a video on that. By the way, folks, been playing around with the YouTube algorithm because stuff keeps changing. And according to YouTube, most of you are online in the afternoons. So tell me what time of the day you would usually watch WCBS videos. Were you one of our diehard fans that would watch them as soon as they drop at the same time in the morning? Or you go back and check out, or when are you on YouTube the most? Because I can look at data, and I do, but I want to know exactly how you guys interact with us as well. So that way we can do more to interact more. Also, too, guys, as we keep telling you, we're growing our Patreon. We're on our, push to 200K, 200 patrons, all of that stuff. We're going to start implementing in a few weeks. We just got to get our scheduling down because, Kendo the doctor and all that stuff. but we want to do a fan stream for you guys where we have our patrons on, and you guys are on the show with us. So if you want to join us over on Patreon and become a member and become that, please do. Also, when we get our scheduling locked down too, we'll do our exclusive Rumble stream, because we hit our first goal a while ago, and we're still growing that presence because we want to be everywhere, and we want to give you guys that too. So just give us a little bit of time to work out the schedule, and the guys and I have been recording a ton of stuff as of late, so we're going to keep on giving you guys more and more WCBS. Shadowworks Media says, Nick, how does this business side of Hollywood factor into pushing certain worldviews / ideologies in film if it's pissing people off and deterring people from getting into the movies due to politics, or going to the movies due to politics?
Like I said, between the higher ups and the audience, there's like a marketing people that they're hiring that are doing the wrong shit. They're like 20 somethings just out of college, you know, who are telling them the wrong things. Like, oh, you must go for this group, must do this, must be diverse, must think about everybody, this, that, and the other. It's not fucking working. And I keep listening to them because I don't know fucking why. The higher ups are old and they're dumb and they don't know any better. That's really what it boils down to. I don't have all the answers. And they, once again, they think it's all about money and this, that, and the other, but obviously they're not making it, and they don't know why. They keep blaming everybody else, and it's a whole fucked up thing. And you know, now they're all on strike and they can't really do much. So, yeah, I mean, that's all the Hollywood machine is like trying to make money off the stuff. And I don't know, maybe they're part of that whole like ESG score or DEI score or that bullshit. They're trying to get as high as they could, or you know, so they could get a free toaster or something. I don't fucking know.
I love my DEI toaster.
That could be it too. I mean, they could have been trying to go for that score or something as well. I don't know. But it's like, I don't know. You're trying to look for you know, smart people in Hollywood and like things that make sense. You're not gonna fucking find it. It's Hollywood.
You, sir, are not wrong. But thank you to our friend Shadowworks Media. That's a cool screen name, by the way. TLJ Screwjob says, can I get a bone saw and an Aftermath Uncle Ben? Yes, you can. That's what we call the old Tobey Maguire combo. So first off, you wanted this one. And then we get this.
Who's that Pokemon? It's
Uncle Ben.
Stop hurting
RIP.
Uncle Ben. God damn.
God, that was a good movie.
Great movie.
We're not close to
all you Amazing Spider-Man fans. The movie still sucks. I like Andrew Garfield too. The movie still sucks. The second one ain't great either. Get over it. You guys lost. You lost the war. Let it go.
Was it Paul Giamatti in the Robo Rhino costume, Dion?
That's a separate episode. We'll get into that, fans. Make sure you subscribe and hit the bell, and we'll if you want that conversation, send us an email, make some comments. We'll dive into that shit.
TLJ Scrooge says, yeah, Nick, you can keep an overpass and shot again.
Okay.
I've known you for years, and I feel like that joke just went over my head.
I've
Is it a Jim Wynorski thing? Is that what we were watching?
Probably what it is.
Okay.
Yeah, they're probably probably that.
We had a hell of a time watching all those movies at Horror Hound when we were off the clock.
Oh God.
Or no, who were we watching? Actually?
No. That was Andy Sedaris. Andy
Sedaris. Okay, my bad.
We were watching. Was it the one when I came over? We were watching the Pat Morita. Was that?
Yep.
Is that Do or Die?
Yeah, we were. No, I had them all in a folder, and they were just like replaying throughout the folder.
Yeah, I need to get those from
you. So at any point, like there were tits and guns on the screen the entire weekend in the hotel room. It was great. Oh man.
Escape from Barbie Land says, please hear the actual synopsis of Barbie. Wow, I cannot read. He wants us to read the actual synopsis of Barbenheimer.
God damn it. Okay, I found it, and here's what it is. I know there are like 4 messages about this. Okay, it's here's what it is. Deep within Dollsville, a group of fed-up female dolls, led by the brilliant Dr. Barbenheimer, build an atomic bomb. Their mission? To bring down the patriarchy once and for all. But as the battle of the sexes swells, will Barbenheimer and her bevy of beauties end up blowing up more than they bargained for? Comedy, drama, action, and Armageddon erupt in Full Moon's latest freak out fantasy film, Barbenheimer. That's what I've gotten so far. Unless you have a link for like the actual one, but yeah, that's what I got. Once again, it's fucking full moon. I don't know what you guys are like excited or mad about. It's fucking full moon. If you're near our age, they went out with like they were popular when we were like probably kids, and you could still get stuff in the video store.
Oh yeah, I remember seeing those everywhere.
Yeah, they haven't made anything relevant in like 15 or 20 years.
Yeah, like whenever like the joke is made about like old TV shows, and they're like, yeah, who's so and so? Like, you guys are getting excited. Full Moon is that to us. Like, they were never great.
Yeah, they made a bunch of really fun straight to DVD movies, like Puppet Master. I think they're on like the 20th or 25th one or something. It's insane. They've done a lot of fun stuff, and we would watch as kids, but like none of it was at some point. It just they quit being profitable, and making money. Like it's just done. You know, like I know they have their own like streaming app, and they make some stuff every now and again, but it's like really low rent shit.
Did you want me to add Puppet Master 20 to our box office list? So Saw 10, Nun 2, Puppet Master 20.
Jesus Christ! You know what? There are two ways to watch the Puppet Master movies, either chronologically or order of release. It's weird because they've recently gone back and done a whole World War II thing now, and it's dumb.
Yeah, that was weird. I saw that. I was like,
yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Like I grew up with the Puppet Master, you know, the original ones, and I'm like, I reviewed the first one last year, and after like the first couple, they just get, yeah. No.
Yeah. But yeah, we read the synopsis.
That was the nicest way to say that.
Yeah. But yeah, we've read the synopsis. Unless there's another particular one you want to straight, put it in the chat right now, the link, and I'll try to like read that. But that's what I found. Once again, it's done by Full Moon and Charles Band. Like it's they're not.
We should.
It's not anything I know about.
We gotta read the whatchamacallit. Well, I'm glad the audience sends us messages like that to check out stuff because I didn't know about it. So I'll tell you thanks because now Barbenheimer the movie is on my radar. Like I did the Barbenheimer experience this summer, not because it was trendy, but because I made a mistake. So I saw Barbenheimer and I did not like Barbie, but I definitely enjoyed Oppenheimer. And so I guess we should watch it for the
Yeah, I mean it's gonna be on Prime in like by the end of the year.
You should watch it for the channel. I mean it's not that bad of a movie.
No, not Barbie. I'm talking this new Barbenheimer.
Oh, I mean, fuck yeah, we should watch that. How's that even a question? It's called Barbenheimer. How are we not going to watch that for the channel? What the fuck are you two talking about? That's fucking. With the minute that comes out, we're gonna watch it.
We'll have it immediately. I love how the poster says D cup A bomb. Exploding soon, like that's the poster.
Are you sure this isn't an Andy Sedaris movie?
I kind of wish it was. It took a little bit longer to make, but apparently they want to make a buck, so they're making it like tomorrow.
We should just go ask to be in the picture.
I mean, I'm sure we'd have to like fly down like yesterday to where they were shooting and be there right now.
Nick, you got that DeLorean? It's kind of my dream to be in this movie.
You heard about this thing like 10 minutes ago. Calm down.
Yes, and dreams can be born quickly as long as the passion's there. And I'm passionate about being in Barbenheimer.
The passion of the Barbenheimer.
I don't know. Tweet Charles Band and see if he has room for us. We'll see if we can get a quick flight somewhere and go be in this.
I mean, I'm gonna do that in a minute. Shit, I'll do. Folks, I've been tweeting out the stuff that I said I would tweet out on Twitter. So follow us over there, folks, at World Class BS.
Yeah, if you hold on, let's see. I wonder if Charles.
Nick, you write the email, or you write the tweet. I'm gonna read us an email while you're looking that up.
You do that.
So, one of our listeners, the screen name escapes me, but we're not going to read his real name. But he says, Dion is the most beloved member of the channel. I thought it was Kendo. And Darth Vader is one of the most popular Star Wars characters, hence the logical setup for them to fight. While common logic would dictate that Vader would easily kill Dion, both Kenobi and Ahsoka suggest that Dion could survive a lightsaber stab by him. Both Reva and Sabine survived lightsaber stabs in the gut, yet most cautiously, only Sabine needed to be taken to a doctor. Thus, Reva clearly survived her encounters with Vader because black don't crack.
That might have been one of the greatest things that have ever been read to me.
Well, there's more, Dion. Because it goes on to
say,
lightsabers have been different effects, or have had different effects on different things. The viable blood of Ponda Baba's severed arm and the accompanied cauterized wound from different characters as a sign of this. Therefore, Dion would be able to survive a lightsaber attack under the same logic as Reva. But Vader could force choke Dion and kill him, which would be true if just by the two of them were left in a room. Now, if there are a plethora of white women in the room, or even just one, Dion has a chance. For it has been proven that Dion is the defender of all white women. Thus, if one is in danger of being killed by Darth Vader, Dion would overcome all odds to defend her and her honor. I fully believe that if a white woman is in danger from a Force user, Dion could nullify all attempted Force attacks on his person. On a side note, I have also heard rumors that Dion's mere presence makes the white women gain 2 cup sizes. I don't know how reliable Hulk Hogan is as a source, though. Note that the woman in the situation's white skin makes her unable to absorb the heat of a lightsaber due to her ancestors evolving in caves. As a result, Dion Green would prevail in fighting between himself and Darth Vader if a white woman were in danger. Dion's love of white women and the fact that Star Wars and black don't crack provide a very yin-yang effect against Vader's powers. Though Vader could still actually choke Dion as he did to Captain Antilles at the start of the film.
Oh my god.
That is the greatest email we have ever received in our 371 episodes.
That 100% is the greatest email. Like,
oh
that,
god.
Like,
that
I love you for that. That is no other fuck. That's that yeah. That's hey, I love this fucking guy.
God, that reminds me about this is something I wrote in the chat like I think like last year or something. I was writing like a very quick like synopsis, like we were joking around about writing Dion a script about white women, and I was like, okay, I'll write one. I was like, he goes on a trip and like he takes a detour, goes down like a dirt road, and then his car breaks down. He has to walk to the cabin. Cabin's full of all these fucking white women on their bachelorette party, and they keep telling him, they keep like convincing him to stay. And he's like, no, I gotta go. I'll go sleep in the car. I'll use the phone and leave. And then like they all get naked and bang him until some crazy redneck murderer comes around and starts killing them, and he has to escape. Yeah,
Dion, you got a lot of good movies set up in your future.
Listen, I could get hit by a bus tomorrow, and I have made it. Like even which listen, I won't. But the fact that we had this little ass show, and someone came up with that epic ass email just randomly because they listened to me on the internet, I done made it, bitch. I done made it. Get the fuck up out my way, bitch. I done made it, son. That's hilarious. Holy shit!
By the way, I did tweet Charles Band, and we did repost the poster, so we'll see what happens. I doubt we'll get a response, but we'll see what happens.
Let's fucking go.
He'll call us up. He's like, guys, I actually do need some help.
Yeah,
and it's the worst experience of our lives.
Oh no, I'm sure it would be. I'm sure it would be.
I mean, hey, it's a hell of a story though.
He's like, guys, I need you to help me get some credit for this film. So, Nick, you're going to be signing up for some credit cards for Full Moon Productions.
Oh, my God. What is he, Kevin Smith? What the fuck? He's been doing this since, like, 78. He should know better by now.
Shit.
Sounds like Paul Heyman.
Yeah.
Shit. I mean, you ain't wrong.
I mean,
checks are clear.
Get some Tommy Dreamer with some teary eyes. Well, he ain't wrong.
Xavier to God, what is up? He says, so I recently started playing GTA 5 online again to play with my cousins, but I also find that, to find out in June this year, they removed 180 vehicles and aircraft. Wait, what? I did not learn that at all.
That's upsetting. Why?
I mean, I'm just learning about this now, so I don't know. But it does annoy me because there's no reason to take it out. It just makes your game lesser.
They probably don't want you speeding on on the virtual interstate or hijacking a plane or something like that. Something fun that you can do in only a video game and not in real life.
Well, I mean, it takes place in fictional California, so I guess it makes sense if you look at it like that.
California made them take out those vehicles and aircraft.
They're not going to be carbon neutral by 2025.
You know what?
So
that is the most Gavin Newsom thing I've ever heard of, and I wouldn't put it fucking past him.
You ain't lying, motherfucker.
Yeah, would not put it past him. I also read, I think it was a tweet or something I saw that like maybe GTA 6 is going to be $150. I'm like, go fuck yourself. You're not going to sell any copies.
Yeah, no. I mean, Rockstar done lost their mind. They ain't lost their goddamn mind.
Yeah.
You sure about that?
I mean, now that you asked.
See, if GTA 6 is $150, that would be the funniest thing ever. Because their greed at the shark card, it just never stops. It's been a decade. It has literally been 10 full years since Grand Theft Auto 5 came out. I was a senior in college. God, I'm old now. Anyway, I was a senior in college, and it was the biggest game release. I was so hyped. I skipped classes that day, went and got the game, played it for 2 days straight, bought it again on PS4 a year later. Like, I was hooked on GTA 5. That was 2018 when I kind of got tired of it. And now we're in 2023, and I've all but given up on Grand Theft Auto. So even though I would have paid that kind of money for a Grand Theft Auto game years ago, not anymore. I've tapped out of Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah. Yeah, it used to be that that nice gold standard of just of having fun and doing dumb shit, but not anymore, man. They kept promising stuff here and there, and they kept trying to say, oh yeah, it'll be out. Well, we'll have it done. It's like, no, it's not fucking happening.
No, it's not. Oh god, I can't believe they took out that shit though. That's really annoying.
180 vehicles and aircraft. What the
What's left?
I'm
really?
I'm still playing Vice City on a PS2, so I mean, there's that.
Well, at least they're never
edition.
What's that?
You didn't get the upgraded edition?
The newest system I have is I got my kid a Switch for Christmas last
year. It's on there.
I play more than he does. Is it? I'll have to check it out. Then I didn't realize it was on there.
Oh no, it's a broken clusterfuck of a game. You don't want to get it.
Well, I already spent $85 on Fight Forever. So I mean, that's never worked since I downloaded it. So I mean, yeah, I won't waste any money on that then.
Jeez.
The only friend reason Dan didn't get Fight Forever was because there were a bunch of people that were like, yeah, it hasn't worked for me. I was like, God damn it, I want to give you my money. Make shit work.
I bought it was the Elite Edition, which was like $85, and yeah, it's never worked. I downloaded it and it won't finish downloading, and it's never worked. I bought it like right when it came out. God damn. Yeah.
I wanted to buy that game, dude. Now someone I can't play it.
I could have spent that at the provisioning center. That's bullshit.
So, guys, is there anything else we want to talk about before we put this baby to bed?
Free AO.
All of our playlists are in our link tree, or all links, whatever it's called. Go check it out. Go listen to them. Tell us what you think. If you hate it, if you love it, whatever. Let us know.
Yes, folks. The Ballad of Couch Kendo is the ultra. So last week was the Art of Lo Mein. This is the Ballad of Couch Kendo.
So you and me are up next weekend. Sorry, next show.
Yeah, what are we gonna? Oh Jesus, it's gonna be.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a good one.
Yeah.
Shout out to our pal Vinny. Vinny, what up? We gotta talk soon, man. I appreciate all the links you sent me. I've just been swamped with work, but I definitely want to come hang out with you guys. Vinny puts out great books and some great streams.
Yeah, he's been messaging me too on Twitter to join the stream. I just haven't been able to. In all honesty, I've been busy every weekend, and this is no exception. I mean, I'll try to come on this weekend as well and hang out. But yeah, I'll see what happens. I'm just like, everybody needs me this month. I don't know what it is.
It's September. October is inventory time at Statler Toyota, but September.
That's what
for
it
the
is.
friend.
That's what it is. They're getting ready for inventory in October. That's why.
Everybody needs the Bombay Bad Boy in September.
Fuck.
Hey, you named yourself that. I like it.
That's how I'm going to introduce Nick whenever he comes on the show now, as
Oh,
the Bombay
God.
Bad Boy.
What now? Just to give the audience a quick tease of what's on our Patreon. What were we talking about with Kendo yesterday? They're changing the name of India to what? Not Barai, right? Or
A Bharat, I think, is what he said.
Bharat,
Yeah, like,
okay.
yeah, because like
Barai's
yeah,
a Power
India's-
Ranger shit.
Yeah, because India is like tired of being called India or something, and they want to change it. It's just like, oh god, just stop. Just
That's a
fucking-
valid concern. We don't like what our name is.
Jeez. And I love how a whole like that's how uppity they become in such a short time. It's like, I want to change our name and fuck up all the maps for forever. It's like, really? Thanks.
Well, good thing I didn't invest in globes.
Yeah, but to say, good thing you didn't invest in globes.
There goes my globe fortune
Oh god.
down the drain. I ain't got that globe money no more, baby girl. Shit.
Either that, or they're going to be sought after because they have India on them and not Bharat.
It's a limited edition. This one's got India and Burma, now known as Myanmar.
Oh, hell yeah. Does it
you
have
go.
Czechoslovakia too?
Yes. This is the bootleg
Right.
model.
The bootleg model.
Put me down for 3, good sir. I got to buy 3 for the American schools.
Does it come with a moon globe as well?
Unfortunately, this globe is flat.
Are you sure you're not
the way
looking
my
at a
globe
map
is-
there, pal?
The way my globe is set up, it's a jump to conclusions, Matt.
Get it? You jump to conclusions.
It's got all kinds of different conclusions you can jump to.
God, I love that movie so fucking much.
It's fantastic.
Funniest movie of 1999. We got to do a 1999 best of one of those elimination brackets that we usually do over on Patreon.
God. Oh god. Well, we've done it for everything else, for candy,
movies?
for breakfast food, for
Yep.
sodas, all kinds of shit.
For
Hell yeah.
1999 movies, Dion.
Fuck yeah, dude.
All right, let's.
Yeah,
you write that one down.
there's no way we can have a bracket big enough for all the movies we love. That's not feasible.
I'm sure with our friend the computer, we could make that happen.
The computer.
I'll call up Conky 3000.
Yeah, no, it would just be a lot to undertake for sure.
Well, the audience is worth it. So, folks, thank you for watching us tonight. I'll be back on Saturday with another video. Check out Friday is our clip day, so make sure that you guys check out these clips. If you can't catch us live, well, listen to this version. But if you're in a super rush, hey, we're not here to judge. Check out the WCBs clips. I'm going to be compiling those into a nice big file here on the channel, aka playlist, and that way you can catch all of our clips. But the best way is to catch us live so you can be a part of that. So folks, from all of us here at WCBS, thank you for watching. Be smart, be safe, be cool, but always be excellent to each other.
.com.
Nice shooting, son. What's your name?
My name is Jeff.